Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live. Nebraska football.
Rogers takes the ball at the 30. He's hit and got away. Back upfield to the 35, to the 40. He's to the 45. He's to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 20, to the 10. He's all the way home. Holy moly. Man, woman, and child did that. Put him in the aisle.
Nebraska football. The house that Devaney and Osborne built.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
Oh, they don't have him yet. Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break? Touchdown.
The house of championships.
Here's a hand up to Thunder, who gives it back to Mike Stokes. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out. Yes! 40. It is. Eric Crouch. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Yes!
Armstrong looking, holding, throws out the flat pass, caught by Amir, trying to avoid the rush. He does. He has a first down, bouncing off tacklers to the 45, Amir to the 40, Amir to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, touchdown, Amir Abdullah. What an amazing catch and run. Kellogg's throw. It's going to be tipped and caught. It's caught. It's caught. It's a touchdown, Western Times.
Now, Coach Matt Rhule looks to lead the team into a new era.
Who's the guy that's supposed to make the difference? I'm surrounded by him. Now you guys freaking do it. We on the same page? Yes, sir. Fight, fight, fight!
Throw, passes, intercepted, touchdown Nebraska. Pick 6, Tommy Hill. Pick 6, Big Red.
I can see it happening. Bullock takes away the slant. Sanders has to hold it. Pick 6. Give me all of it.
Nebraska football. Can you feel it?
Play clock at 5. Snap put down. Kicks in and blocked.
Huskers blocked the kick. Keep the 0 on the board. It was Ty Robinson up in the air to knock it down.
Boy, that middle is as soft as sharp. Gotta toughen up, Buttercup.
Dylan checking off, 12 on the play clock. Hands extended, gets the snap. Looks middle, looks over the middle, pass fired. It's caught, 5, and that's Nelson into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. Carter Nelson coming forth with his first 6 points as a Cornhusker.
Nebraska, Cincinnati.
Take the handoff over the pocket of the near side. Looks to the outfield as a man open downfield and shoots it too high. And it's picked off. Intercepted Malcolm Hartzog. 10 up to the 14-yard line as Malcolm Hartzog now to the 19 as he goes and start the mashed potatoes dance. Huskers get a pick.
Oh, you can feel it. The Nebraska football season starts now.
Good morning, Husker fans, and good game day to you all. It's Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. Shane, well done on the intro there. Got goosebumps, particularly during the Eric Crouch part, but that's unrelated, just a cool play. That's Rico over here with me this morning. DB's down in Kansas City. He will be joining us for the 8 o'clock hour via video stream if he can figure the technology out. He'll be joining us one way or the other.
I think he'll be able to figure it out. He's a smart cookie.
I think so.
He's got enough people around him that he'll be able to figure it out.
I was going to say he may have to employ the help of Jessica Cootie to get everything to work right. But we've got DB at 8. It's going to be a great day. Rico, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, nothing, man. This is first time in a long time that I'm in front of the camera, and a little nervous, especially it being a game day, but I've got you next to me, so we'll be good.
First time, long time?
First time, long time.
First time, long time, Rico over here. Rico's normally behind the camera helping us produce with Austin. Austin taking care of that from KC this morning. We're also going to check in with Austin today.
Boots on the ground.
I don't know when he's going to start drinking, but that Western Nebraska runs strong in our boy. And if he's not wearing the Busch Light Crocs and drinking by the time we call him, I'm going to be a little surprised.
Honestly, if he's not wearing the Crocs, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
It's his thing now. I mean, he wore the Crocs to the Creed concert. He can't not wear the Crocs to a Husker game.
I know. I think Rico, Shane, and I are the only Hurrdat employees left here in Omaha. Everyone else is in Kansas City.
Probably.
I think everybody else in the city's in Kansas City.
No,
you're exactly right.
Listening to a couple other broadcasts over the last few days, it does feel like a lot of people in this state are like most of the state is gone.
Yeah,
most of the state is in another state.
I think they've just migrated. There was no traffic on the way to work this morning. No one's left.
There was a decent amount on my way into Lincoln or into Omaha.
Yeah.
Out of Lincoln.
Out of Lincoln.
And I feel like all those people are going down to Kansas City.
Oh, probably
this early.
It is. Oh, you have to. If you listen, if you're headed down today, still leave now. Call in sick to work. Leave now. You just gotta. You can't wait. You're going to be on the interstate forever. It's going to be backed up. Getting into Arrowhead's going to be a mess. Don't wait till the last minute. Your boss will understand. Probably.
Your boss is probably gone.
Yeah, they're probably gone.
Your boss
already.
is probably down.
They're probably there already. They probably spent the extra day.
Your boss was like, "Yeah, it's a work from home day today," and they're not home.
No, they're not home. They're in Kansas City.
100%.
Just like everybody else in this town.
As you should be.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed that we're not there. It's okay though. We've got you covered, and we'll also have you covered after the game today as well as we launch the Hail Varsity Post-Game Show. We'll go live right after every Husker game. It'll be me and Rico today. It'll be me and Austin some days, but we will have you covered after every single Nebraska game. So make sure
mostly wins.
You tune in to that as well. Speaking of, we're gonna get your record prediction, Rico. We're gonna get that going right and early, so be ready for that. We're not yet, but we're gonna go there.
I already know that I'm going to make some people upset.
Oh, well, if you're a hater, then I might.
It's not me being a hater. It's just me having stronger thoughts on certain teams than other people.
Wow, hater.
Look, we sit here and we're like, oh, Nebraska has improved so much and they've done so much this offseason and they brought these pieces in and they're so good. Other teams have done the same thing.
False.
There are other teams that are trying to get better from year to year.
Better.
There are other teams that have brought in other people that will make their team better, hopefully for them at least.
So this is the thing that I think we do a lot is I think we always assume people get better. And sometimes people get worse, Rico.
That's true.
There are teams that have also gotten worse.
That is true, but most teams that Nebraska faces, for one reason or another, get better.
I think that's a Nebraska problem, not a them problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, so that has nothing to do with
we
the
just
other
sit
teams.
here and we're just like, oh, well, this team was bad last year. This team was bad 2 years ago. Okay. Nebraska was bad 2 years ago.
They were bad 2 years ago.
And now everybody's like, hey, playoffs, baby.
Nebraska's not bad anymore.
Hey, 10 wins. Hey, I'm just saying.
Listen, let's ease off on the 10-win guys, all right?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Was it 9 wins? That's the Ravi thing?
No, 10. It's 10.
10. Oh, 10 wins.
It's 10.
10 wins.
Let's.
That's what you sound like every time you say it.
Austin says cancel Rico. I agree. Headley says, all right, get Rico off the air. We've had enough. I think that's correct.
There we go. See, I told you it wouldn't take much time.
Hater. No, we'll get his terrible record prediction, which will be wrong.
At least I didn't say Memorial Stadium wasn't good.
Yeah, that's an Austin deal right there. We'll check on Austin later. Coming up at Headley says today's game day, Kool-Aid or death. I agree, Headley.
Oh, I'll give you Kool-Aid after I give you my record prediction.
Get your head on straight, Rico.
It is.
No, I don't think so. Get your head on straight.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Coming up at 8, we've got DB. He'll be joining us from Kansas City. At 8:45, we got Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider, giving us the scoop on a full weekend of college football.
It's back.
I'm excited.
It's so back.
We've got
and YouTube TV.
Did they get the Fox deal?
They got it.
Oh, good.
They always. Did you really think they weren't?
No, but there was.
Did anybody really think they weren't?
There was an ESPN deal a couple years ago where it took like a week and they missed stuff.
Yeah,
like they missed real stuff. I was pretty pissed.
There's no way they were going to miss Texas Ohio State. There was no way in my mind that was going to happen.
We out here, right? Coming up at 9, we got Michael Bruns, Husker 24/7. As I mentioned, our other intrepid producer, Austin Jacobsen, with a feet on the ground report at 9:30. We'll see if he's sober at that point. And then at 9:45, Chad Brendel, owner of BearcatJournal.com, to give us one last preview, a quick look at Cincinnati before we head into the weekend. We're less than 13 hours away from kickoff, Rico.
I'm so excited.
It doesn't sound like you're excited. It sounds like you're a hater.
I'm so excited.
Sounds like you're a hater.
Look, you're going to love me for like 7 games.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Hater. All right, we're going to find out why Rico's wrong about everything soon. Here's the other thing that you need to remember about Rico, just as we go in here. He has terrible takes. So if he says 7 wins, I think it's actually good news for Nebraska.
Yeah.
because his takes are very bad.
I am more wrong than I am right.
That's good. That's a good quality to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially for somebody in the sports media.
What's wrong? No problem there. Yeah, Austin wants to know your Miller North football prediction.
Undefeated.
Oh, damn it.
You're welcome.
You don't jinx us.
You're welcome.
A-hole. Let's get started with what you're looking forward to most for Nebraska football season.
What I'm looking forward to most this season is the easy answer would be Dylan Raiola second year with Dana Holgorsen and how explosive that's going to be and how he's going to throw for 1,000,000 yards and be a finalist for the Heisman. Like that would be something that would be easy. But for me, what I'm most excited in is the sort of revamped defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And
you have been listening to the show.
I'm thinking, just a little bit. I saw your boy got the last black shirt.
Keona Davis, baby.
Your boy got the last black
That's
shirt.
That's my guy.
That 97 is going to look real nice.
That's my guy.
That's going to look real nice. I'll tell you what. No, I'm excited for the revamped defensive line, not to take anything away from what Ty Robinson and Nat Schutmaker did for Nebraska last season. But to me, they were explosive. They were extremely strong. They were getting pressure on the quarterback. They were stopping the run, all of that, right? But the way that they talk about this defensive line and the way Matt Rhule talked about them, especially his comment at Big Ten Media Day saying if they were going to be hell on wheels, I am excited to see a not smaller per se, but
smaller than they were.
A leaner defensive line and a more explosive defensive line and what they are able to do to quarterbacks and offensive lines throughout the season. Because they're as you're staying in a program, you're hopefully getting bigger, stronger, faster, right? Well, I'm hoping that the last part of that, them getting faster, will lead to more quarterback hurries and potentially a whole hell of a lot more sacks. Because everybody loves a good sack, right?
Absolutely.
It's just fantastic. Gets the crowd going.
Listen, Keona Davis is going to have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
It's my guy.
Your boy.
Williams-Nwaneri, I think, is going to have a bunch of those.
I'm excited for Cam Lenhart. If I had to choose one guy on the defensive line that, you've got Keona Davis, a whole bunch of people have Williams-Nwaneri.
Nwaneri.
Okay.
Ignore the end.
There's so many letters.
There's a lot of
There's so many letters.
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited about Cam Lenhart, a guy who his freshman year was kind of forced into playing a whole lot because of a whole bunch of injuries. And then his second year kind of got lost in the shuffle, still had some flashy moments and some things to get excited about. But I'm really excited, extremely excited for what he's going to do this year.
Yes, I was a big Cam Lenhart guy 2 years ago. I like him a lot. I like his demeanor. He's looked like he's 45 years old since he stepped on campus, which I don't know. I like
just a grown man.
Yeah, he looks like I think I've said this before. He looks like he is playing a cop in a movie. He just looks very mature. He looks like he's just coming up, be like, "Excuse me, can you roll down your window, please?" Yeah,
I gotta talk to you. Do you know why I pulled you over?
License registration. No, he looks like he could play a cop in a movie, and he looks like he's 40 years old. I love it. I'm a big Cam Lenhart guy, but I do think Keona Davis is going to have a monster year. That's a dude that I am really excited about, and we haven't even mentioned the guys in the middle that I like a lot: Riley Van Poppel, Jalen George, Elijah Judy. Big fan of those three guys.
Elijah Judy breakout year.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Elijah Judy. There's a part of me, and I don't want to read too much into the depth chart, right? But the fact that he was listed above Riley Van Poppel, I thought was really interesting. I think they're both going to play together a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not really looking about that far into it. But I do wonder how much, the maturity of, being married and having a kid and graduating
on the way
and graduating college, sometimes you see that sort of transform a guy into reaching his full potential. Sometimes it goes the other way. But I think Elijah Judy's been better than we give him credit for, especially last year. And I think there's a potential for a breakout year for Elijah Judy as well. I'm sort of enamored with Jalen George.
Okay.
Because I told DB this a little bit, but at the open practice that the media and everybody was allowed to come into, Jalen George was wearing a green jersey, so he's just going through non-contact drills. But even compared to guys that I like Keona Davis, like a Riley Van Poppel, like a Williams-Nwaneri, the way that he was going through some of those drills, he looked different. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that like I said, these are all non-contact drills. But he's going through and he's ripping through bags and he's clubbing them, and like it sounded different when he was hitting the bags.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting there, I go, I don't know what that means, but it feels like something.
There's a lot of times where, you feel like football to a decent degree, but you're watching something kind of like you're talking about, and a guy just looks
a little different.
You can't place it because you're not that much of a football sicko. You're not that much into it. You're not a coach.
Yeah.
So you can't read exactly what it is, but you're just watching. You go, I don't know what's happening, but I know that is not what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, like obviously DB's way better at the schemes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at identifying athletic movements.
Okay.
Like that's a lot of how I projected when I was scouting basketball in college. Like looking at athletic movements, I'm looking at how guys move, I'm looking at explosiveness, that type of thing. And Jalen George impressed me with that. I don't know if he can play football or not. I have no idea. But that part looked good. And it kind of, so I randomly, this is totally unrelated, but I was watching on TikTok, this
TikTok.
Random video popped up of like a Minnesota Vikings training camp from the 90s. And it was John Randall, Hall of Fame defensive lineman, going through kind of a similar drill to the one that I saw Jalen George go through. Where
Careful.
No, I'm not comparing him to. But he's like ripping through the bags, and you could tell there was like violence and explosiveness and just quickness getting in and out of the bags. And then they showed immediately after that just another NFL defensive lineman from the Minnesota Vikings. So obviously he's in the NFL, still very good. And I don't even know who the second guy was, but
exactly
very good defensive lineman. And that sort of felt like the difference between Jalen George and how some of these other guys looked.
Okay.
So I don't know if he can play football or not. And I don't know if
he could just be very technical.
I don't know if he could play football at the Big Ten level. Actually, if he's technical on top of the explosiveness that I was seeing, then I'm pretty sure he's good at football.
Okay.
But just from the athletic movements, I was like, that's interesting. I don't know what it is, but it's interesting. So I'm keeping an eye on Jalen George as well. And yeah, Sid brings up a good point. That's who Keona Davis was battling it out for that last black shirt. I think they're all going to play a lot. I think you're going to see probably somewhere between 6 and 8 defensive linemen on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Judy, Lenhart, Van Poppel, Jalen George, Keona Davis, Williams Winari. That's 6 right off the bat.
Yes.
Am I missing anybody immediately?
Let's find out. I'm just going to go to your guys' thing.
Our depth chart?
Yeah.
I think that's the 6 I expect to play right away and pretty frequently.
I mean, that's the 6 that you guys had, and that's the 6 that they had.
I do think there's going to be some, if they want to go bigger in some packages, you may see some Sua Lafo too.
They did mention.
And some Dylan Parrott.
Yeah. Not Machichak, right? He switched back to offensive line.
It's Paycheck.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's the consonant, all that stuff.
Yes, the Z's and stuff in the last name. And I believe it is pronounced Paycheck, but I have to re-listen to the pronunciation guide. So Tiger Shark Diver, Maverick Noonan is a jack. So I'm kind of putting him in a different category with the jacks. He looked good at the open practice when I saw him as well, but I think he's behind the other guys right now. He's just got a lot of ground to make up with the injuries and stuff, but I did think he looked good at open practice also. But I'm with you. The defensive line, I mean, you listen to the show because you have to, but
I kind of forced to.
Yeah. I'm very high on the defensive line. That was one of my early hot takes. Was like, I think this defensive line is good. Like, not just
you were on it early.
I think they're good, and I think they're gonna be good. I like those 6 guys a lot. I like that they have options, and then you bring the Jacks into the situation, and I think it's I think there's a ton of versatility and explosiveness on that defensive line that Nebraska hasn't had in a long time. It's going to look different than it did last year, but different isn't always bad.
No, different isn't always bad.
A lot of times it's good.
If you look at the jack position, we keep mentioning it. If you remember last year how explosive and how good at football Willis McGahee looked, and he's sitting 3rd in the jack position.
Yeah.
That makes me feel some type of way. I'm not sure what type of way, whether it's a good or a bad, but Deshaun McCullough coming in from Oklahoma and him. It was funny when he transferred.
It was
because
McCullough Ochoa, right? The top 2.
McCullough Ochoa.
Another guy that I thought looked really good was Ochoa.
It was hilarious when he transferred in because every other post was different. It was like Oklahoma safety, Deshaun McCullough commits to Nebraska. Oklahoma linebacker, Deshaun McCullough. And it's like, okay, what are you?
Right. Yeah.
What are you going to do? And then you have him at the jack position and you see him and you go, oh, that's why they were confused. And especially if he has the speed to play safety with the size and the thumping to play linebacker, that's another spot that is going to be extremely interesting.
So that's, I think, why he's number one on that depth chart, is because of the versatility he can provide. Now, like, he's obviously got the safety background and linebacker background, so he's going to be a little bit more versatile in non-pass rushing situations. Willis McGahee right now is probably the best at pass rushing situations. Him and Jordan Ochoa, I think, are probably the best in those.
Okay.
Deshaun McCullough is going to be the guy that you don't totally know what to do with. And I actually think you're going to see a lot of times you might see two of these guys on the field at the same time. So being third in that group is not like it's not like you're third at quarterback, right? Like
it's not like you're never going to you're going to see
Willis
the field.
McGahee, he's going to be on the field.
Yeah,
like
you're not going to get a lion's share of the snaps, but you're going to be there.
And he might be more of a specialist in pass rushing situations and things like that. But the nice thing about McCullough is you don't know what he's going to do when he's on the field. It's kind of like what we talked about with Luke Lindemeyer, right? When you break the huddle with Luke Lindemeyer, you don't know if it's a run or a pass because he can do both.
Yes.
Right? He's maybe the only guy that doesn't give you any sort of hint about what's going to happen at the tight end position. I think McCullough's the same way. When you've got him at jack, you don't know what he's going to do because he's got the safety background where he can probably drop and cover on a linebacker or a back a little bit. He's got the linebacker background where he can probably run fit a little bit better than a couple of the other guys. And then he's got kind of the frame and athleticism to be a pass rusher as well. So McCullough is going to be really, really interesting. I think he's going to be on the field most of the time.
Having McCullough, this is a cheat code. Having McCullough and Javen Wright on the field at the same time, their ability to because if you remember, Javen Wright was playing, I think he was playing safety or corner. He's playing defensive back in high school for a while. And then when he got here, he bulked up. And, I mean, you could see it. I mean, he's like, 6'6", something like that. So he's a massive human being. And having him and McCullough on the field at the same time and their ability to cover, their ability to run fit is going to be such a cheat code for Nebraska, because how many times has Nebraska been burned by a tight end just going across the middle, just running a little slant or something going across the middle, and to have one or both of those guys in that area to cover the tight end or cover a slot wide receiver, because they've got the speed as well and the size to get in there and mix things up on the run. And again, like you said, you don't know what either one of them is going to do. They'll be lined up right there on the line of scrimmage, drop back into coverage. They'll be back looking like they're going to be in coverage and rush and try to get to the passer or stop the run.
So here's the other thing about those guys that I think actually makes life really difficult for other offense or opposing offenses. They're both really tall too. Javen Wright's like 6'5".
Yeah.
I think McCullough's 6'4" or 6'5". Like, those are really tall linebackers. So what you're talking about, some of those routes, even if they're not covered well, they look discouraging to a passer, right? Like, it looks like you're not going to be able to throw it there.
Can I get
right?
this?
Because they're you've got so much size there. And so that's a super interesting thing to look at as well. I like what TK did here. So if you've got these, if you're online here, or if you want to give us a call, 888-638-4876, oddly specific predictions for the game today.
Ooh.
He says Nebraska gets a turnover in the first 2 Cincy possessions. That is one where I like it.
I like that a lot.
I like and that would go into what I said about the defense all offseason. I think they're going to look different, but I think it's going to be more disruptive. You may have, I think it's going to be more aggressive, more disruptive. So you may give up some of the things you got last year because you can't have everything, right? But I do think it's going to be more aggressive, more disruptive. Tiger Shark Diver says 28-13, and Jacory will have a punt return score.
Ooh. If you get a special teams touchdown, I love it.
Yeah.
I love special teams. I was a special teams specialist in high school. Don't read too far into that.
Yeah, you're a special teams specialist in high school.
Don't read too far into that.
Austin says he's channeling his inner Deshaun Singleton from the CBS special. He says, prediction, they finna make the people in wheelchairs stand up.
Can't wait.
There you go. That was
I have thoughts.
Incredible line from Deshaun Singleton.
I have thoughts. Nebraska fans, don't let me down. That's all I'm going to say. Don't let me down.
Hot Danger says Dylan is having a great game, and one of the announcers foolishly says he's better than Mahomes.
How many Mahomes compare? Okay,
So,
I need somebody to keep a tally on how many Mahomes comparisons are made during the broadcast.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's going to say he's better than Mahomes. I am concerned that there's going to be a absurd number of comparisons.
So you're going to get the picture comparisons before the game even starts. Like they're going to have the when he moved in last year.
Yep.
And he had the shades and the hair and everything.
Yep.
They're going to have that picture, right? They're going to have that one.
100%.
Are they going to have a sidearm comparison? His first sidearm throw. Are they going to have like a video or picture comparison there?
Oh, yeah, probably. The first time he scrambles and throws, they'll have a
his first throw on the run.
Yeah, his first throw on the run, they'll have one. If he does a sidearm throw, they'll have one. If
there's a deep ball, they're definitely gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he like puts one in a bucket,
yeah,
they'll have one.
They're gonna be like, "It's looking like Mahomes. There's a different 15 out there." Something like that.
Wyatt, I can't say that, man. I can't say that. I can't repeat that, Wyatt.
I'll say it.
I wouldn't.
Asian Wyatt says words.
Wyatt.
That's it.
What are you doing,
That's all we're going to say. What's your oddly specific?
I thought about this last night, and I think there's going to be a scoop and score. I think Nebraska's going to get a scoop and score. Like strip sacks, scoop and score. That's my oddly specific prediction. I had a premonition before the Colorado game last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not claiming to have the gift or anything, but I had a dream that Tommy Hill was going to have a pick six. And I didn't tell anybody because I was like, that's stupid.
That's not going to happen.
I was like, I feel like a crazy person.
Sure doesn't throw picks.
And then I was like, oh, we're going to win this game by 100.
That's it.
To be fair, in my dream, it was like a 40-yard pick six return, not like a 4, but still, I'll take it. I'm going to take that. TK says, what happens first? Matt Rhule, year 3, Mahomes, or Travis and Taylor mentioned. Ooh, let's put some. We should make bets on that.
Ooh.
We should ask.
Because they're gonna start the broadcast off mentioning Matt Rhule year 3, and they're gonna put a graphic of Temple and Baylor year 3, and like year 1, year 2, year 3, and then they're gonna be like, it'll say year 1, year 2 Nebraska, and then it'll be like year 3 ? Like that's what's going to happen.
So?
That's what I would do. That's what they're going to do. And then second is going to be Mahomes. I think you got it in the right order the way you typed it out.
I think so. I think the order is Matt Rhule year 3, Mahomes, and then at some point, since they're in Kansas City, and I'm guessing the Kelce's will be there.
They're going to be there. They're going to be there. They're doing their podcast, or they're doing something, and Bussin' with the Boys is also there. I think they're getting together.
Okay, so yeah, they're definitely going to mention Travis and Taylor if they're at the game. They're definitely.
Taylor's going to be there.
Yeah, they're going to mention.
Yeah,
I just Travis just
first tight end that gets a catch is they're going to be like, speaking of tight ends,
Travis just better hope that nobody from Nebraska steals his girl. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he has to worry about that at all.
I don't know.
I don't.
Dylan starts balling out, and Taylor might be like, Oh, what do they got going on in Nebraska over there?
Oh, interesting. That 20-year-old.
Oh, that makes it weird.
Yeah.
Somebody won't steal his girl, but maybe she'll just like go root for the other sideline.
Yeah.
Start wearing Nebraska gear.
She'll be like, I think I actually like Nebraska.
Sorry, Trav. Nebraska's where it's at.
Not a big fan of Cincinnati. Although, okay, before we go into more specific predictions.
Yeah. Oddly specific predictions. Cincinnati released
their jerseys they're going to wear, the all reds with the new Cincy.
Hate them.
Really?
I think they're terrible.
I love the helmets. I love the just Cincy. I do like the all red, but I just don't like. It looks weird. I do love the video they used though.
I liked the
Shout
red
out to Cheryl Crow.
helmet. I feel like it would have been better with a black jersey.
Yes, they should have gone with black jerseys.
Yeah, I think
should have been all black versus all red.
Yeah,
Nebraska should. I know that they're the road team, right? That's why they're wearing white.
Yeah, well, yeah, technically, I think.
Yeah,
because I think originally it was a Cincy home game.
Yeah,
before it moved to Indy and then to KC.
Yeah, I think it should have been all black Cincy versus all red Nebraska. That would have been beautiful.
Our guy Julian says Skurs by 80 is his oddly specific prediction. Let's go. Let's go, Julian.
Think that's going to happen.
I don't know. Maybe. You don't know.
You're right. I don't know.
Let's make it a thing. Skurs by 80.
I think. Here's my oddly specific prediction. Heinrich Haarberg catch and run touchdown. 15 yards.
So he catches it and then runs. So just a receiving touchdown.
Yeah. But he has to it's going to be like a short route. He's going to catch it, break a tackle, run
after catch,
like 15 yards,
a little bit of yak.
something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oddly specific.
Heinrich Harburg, catch and run touchdown. Not like just a catch and not like a red zone jump up, catch the ball touchdown. No, he's going to catch and run. He's going to show off that athletic ability.
He says being a cat that identifies as a bear is quite a stretch.
Bearcats smell like popcorn.
What?
Bearcats smell like buttered popcorn.
Is this a Rico thing?
This is a thing. Look it up. Look it up. When I was in Kearney, somebody told me. I looked it up. It's true. Because the high school, the Kearney High, they're the Bearcats. Smell like buttered popcorn.
Lowdown says, can you imagine Travis just crashing out, raging next to Taylor as Nebraska goes up 4 scores?
Can't wait.
Jack says Dylan throws for 300. I would love it.
Wow.
I would love it. Let's see. TK says, my dream last night had Nebraska winning like Alabama won against USC in 2016.
Ooh, that would be tough.
That'd be incredible.
That would be tough.
Let's see.
I do have a question.
TK says they do smell like popcorn, so I trust him.
That's what. Oh, so now so when TK says it, it's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
I do have a question for Chad Brendel when we do get to him.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that long ago that Cincinnati was just one of the better group of 5 programs, and now they're in the Power 4, and it seems like they're often overlooked. Like, it just seems like a lot of people are writing them off as like, it's just Cincinnati. So I don't know if it's kind of the carryover from them being a group of 5 program, or if it's,
I think it's a carryover from them not being very good the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I think that's
also that.
You know, I mean, they're 5-7 last year, which is not terrible, but they lost their last 5, kind of fell apart on them. They're 3-9 in Satterfield's first year. Like, I think that's more of it than anything else. I think people look at Cincinnati's success as more of a Luke Fickell thing, and that maybe it hasn't been sustainable in a power conference. But I don't know. I also I think there's things that they're good at. I think there's things that they can do. I also look at 4 new offensive linemen and go, hey, Nebraska better eat.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No, you don't want to start 4 new offensive linemen.
No,
that's not what you want to do.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm happy for it happening to them and not to Nebraska. But I just look at it and go, yeah, Nebraska needs to eat those guys up.
Mm-hmm.
Like they need
like
to
buttered popcorn.
Everything. Eat those Bearcats up like the buttered popcorn they smell like. It all comes full circle.
Every time.
Since Travis says since he's overlooked because Scott Satterfield is less than mediocre as a coach. Okay.
If you say so.
Stang Nooner says Huskers up by 24 at halftime and big screenshot of Travis crying on Swift's lap in the box.
Oddly specific.
Josh Hinton says Emmett Johnson runs for 103 and a touchdown. That's a very specific prediction. I like it.
As soon as Emmett gets to 103, I'm just going to sit there and say he needs to just bench him now.
Oh, no. Headley says they smell like buttered popcorn because of their urine, guys. Ooh.
Gross, but also
not ideal. Wait, why does their urine smell like buttered
That was
popcorn?
my question.
This is confusing. I feel like we've got more.
We've gone too far. We've gone too far.
We've got more questions than we started with. Let's see. What else do we got here? Oh no. Yeah, there's a lot of urine.
How many running backs do we see in this game?
Its urine apparently contains a chemical. Thank you, Scott. How many running backs do we see in this game? We'll see 4.
4.
Yeah, we'll see the top 3 for sure.
Okay.
In Johnson, Nelson, and Mosey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ives get in as well.
I was going to say, do you get a power back in?
I think Ives is going to be kind of their power back.
Okay.
If you do, like maybe you get a Genatone short yardage.
Mm-hmm. That was my question.
But if you do, I don't know if you get Ives.
Oh.
Because I don't know that they're going to use Ives over any of the other 3 guys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with 4. It could be Genatone over Ives, though.
Is Ives fully healthy?
I don't totally know. I know he's been nursing the hamstring for a lot of camp. So I think they also might be. I know he's been practicing, but they might be a little.
Probably keep him out for this first one at least.
I don't know about keep him out, but they may not rush him in unless they are real confident.
I mean, you got Akron and Houston Christian after this.
Yeah, maybe just ease him into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Does Akron have a private jet on standby? No, we're going too far. We have to focus on Cincinnati.
Why?
Remember when they left?
Oh yeah. With the Lightning game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we'll just play tomorrow. And it's like, no, Akron's gone.
No, they got out of here quickly. TK says, yeah, the 4, he's got Genatone instead of Ives, which is fine. That's definitely definitely in the cards for sure. I don't know which fourth running back it's going to be, but I think it's going to be 4. I don't think you go past 4.
I can get down with that.
Yeah. You think Genatone or Ives?
I'm thinking Genatone. I don't think that they're going to push Ives, especially with it being a hamstring.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to try and get him in there, because if he maybe it'll be short yardage, maybe it'll be a little bit further. If he does break one and he gets into the open field, tries to open it up, that's a problem.
Rico, we have an interesting question from Austin here.
And I was wondering the exact same thing.
Shut up.
I noticed that you are not showing your hair, and we know there is a curse with your hair.
Yeah.
Did you cut your hair?
No.
Let me see.
Why are you so
Let me
obsessed
see.
with this? You don't need to see my hair.
Did you cut it?
No, I didn't cut it.
I don't believe you.
I didn't cut any water.
Show me the
I
hair.
didn't cut my hair.
Show me the hair.
I didn't cut my hair.
We need to see it.
We're talking about sports right now, and my hair has nothing to do with this.
We need to see. You're making it seem like you cut your hair, Rico.
I didn't cut my hair. Who has more receiving yards, Nigel Hunter or Dane Key?
It seems like you cut your hair, Rico.
I didn't cut my hair. I didn't pick it out this morning.
Is that the real reason?
Yeah, you're gonna think.
You didn't know?
You get out of here.
So here's what we're gonna do. So we don't. If it's true that Rico just didn't pick out his hair, so he's embarrassed about how it looks,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have him show me off air, so I can verify that it has not been cut.
Austin, why are you the way you are?
I think it's a good question. I didn't even think about it. We need that. We need that type of investigative journalism from Austin.
You're in Kansas City. Stop investigating.
He says I'm calling at least one play that Heinrich will take a snap.
I don't think he cut his hair because the hat is sitting. The hat is sitting. The hat is sitting high. There's a lot of hair coming out the back.
Look at that.
Yeah. All right. We'll check in the break. Inquiring minds.
But I am still wondering.
Jack says over 4 sacks, 8 pressures. Over 4 sacks, Jack.
Ooh.
Over 4 sacks. 4 new offensive linemen.
If I set the over under for number of sacks, this is for everybody. If I set the over under for number of sacks at he said 4, I'm going to say 3.5.
Over. It's 4 new offensive linemen.
I understand that.
They're going to live in Brendan Sorsby's backyard.
But how many new, quote unquote, defensive linemen does Nebraska have?
Not new. These guys were all here last year.
Williams wasn't.
Well, most of them were, though. Everybody else was.
Jalen
wasn't, but you got
Jalen wasn't.
Keona was. Riley Van Poppel
Keona
was.
didn't play. Riley Van Poppel played
some.
2 years ago. Played sparingly.
Elijah Judy played, but
nobody everybody
played.
is down on Elijah Judy for whatever reasons. Cam Lenhart did play. Okay, but you have 5 that played very little or are new to the program.
No, over. Way over.
I'm setting it at 3.5.
Over.
If they get to 3, they win. If they get
here's the
4 sacks, they win.
Here's the difference between new offensive linemen and new defensive linemen. Okay, offensive linemen, if you're not all on the same page all the time, doesn't matter how good the new guys are. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Defensive linemen,
a lot of camaraderie needed,
especially in a pass rush situation. Now it could hurt you in the pass rush situation.
Okay,
there was a lot of going on there. A lot of S's
pass
and
rush.
H's. Pass rush situation.
It'll be a shitawation for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it is going to be a shitawation for Cincinnati when they got Keona Davis living in their backfield. No, so especially in pass rush, you have less dependency on being on the same page on the defensive line. Now, in run schemes, everybody's got to be in the right spots, right?
Yeah.
But in pass rush, it's a lot more about beating the guy.
Freedom.
Right? You're getting after the passer.
Yeah.
Now, you have to have some lane integrity and stuff like that. I understand that. But offensive line, much more important that everybody is thinking the same way.
Yes.
So 4 new guys there is a much bigger problem than new guys on the defensive line.
Okay.
Over 3.5.
All right.
If you honestly, the right number to try and get me
5.5
would have been 5.5.
4 sacks is a lot for a team that didn't get to the quarterback a ton last year.
I know. That's why I like this defensive line better.
5.5 is a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if I take the over at 5.5, but that's the number you would have gotten me to think about.
Can I change it?
Nope.
Okay, 3.5.
Lost it. I'm taking your money. Easy over. All right, let's take a quick break here. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to talk to our guy DB down in Kansas City, see what he's got going on down there, see what his thoughts on the game are. When we come back,
if there's been a haircut, will it really be a quick break?
No, if it's been a haircut, Rico's not coming back. We're stuffing him in a locker.
I didn't cut my hair.
Especially with his Debbie Downer prediction he's about to give. I don't even know if I'm going to let you predict now.
Come back for my prediction. I'll make you happy.
Shane, if I give you a look, just cut his mic. All right?
Don't cut my mic, Shane. Don't do that.
Because that goes over well.
He's a guest. I can tell him. I can tell you what to do with him.
I'm going to tell DB on you.
Go for it.
Whatever.
Go for it. That's Rico. I'm Ravi. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. We'll be back. It's game day, folks. Stick around.
Yeah, we always want to be leading the charge when it comes to moving the sport along and making sure volleyball, puts up big numbers, and it's something that these networks, are fighting over to get to air these matches. Again, our team embraces that, and more importantly, not the team, the university does, and the athletic department. And what was the second part of your question?
How does it prepare you for later on?
Oh, yeah, it's huge. I thought playing at PBA was massive for preparation, because if we're not here for the regional, and now we have the crowd behind us, but we've been there where there's a light show and there's, a huge crowd and big moments where every play, you're feeling pressure. So this weekend was really, really important, I'd say, for later on. And then this coming weekend will be more of a neutral crowd, so could be a little more like a Final Four crowd. So we'll have our fans that travel for sure, but the majority of the fans are likely just going to be the casual volleyball fan.
I like playing power four, power five. I guess power five then, now power four maybe. I like playing a power four team to start. I think it makes your camp much more intentional. It gets everyone's attention early. I felt like that Minnesota game. I felt like we should have won it. We had it won. That being said, we weren't as far along, and I think I commented many times. I didn't have us as ready for the crowd noise and all the things that the gold out at Minnesota would have. I sometimes say things like that, and I could probably put a caveat there, but it sounds weak. Like we were working on a lot of other things. We weren't probably ready for all that. We were just trying to learn some basic things at the time. But I feel like I have gotten to my part. I've gotten the team ready in terms of situationally. We should be prepared for everything. And I think to their part, they are focused and paid a lot of attention to detail. Like we walked in this morning, Wish and I walked in this morning, and Isaiah Mosey's sitting in the recovery tubs, and Isaiah's just sitting there. He's got his game book out. Like a lot of times you see guys looking at their phone or iPad. Like, he's got his game book out, and he's like taking notes. I was like, all right, that's what our freshmen look like. That means that every room that the seniors are doing a good job, or in that case, in that room, Emmett. So. Yes, I feel confident that we'll play. And at the same time, also knowing the first game, you don't know what to expect. Like Cincinnati, could come out and it could be all 4 down. It could be all cover 0. It could be all, they could come out and they could have gone to high tempo. They could have, you don't know. So you have to have smart coaches and coordinators and players who can adjust on the fly, and I think we're prepared for that.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, Javen obviously has been through a lot since he's been here. He's going on year 7. He always jokes with me like he's the same age as me, but I'm really proud of him. He's been through a lot since he's been here. He's a really tough, competitive, hardworking young man. He's a great example for the room. The guys look up to him. They see the things that he's gone through and the struggles, and obviously the things that he's done well as well. Position changes and just growing as a player, getting a single-digit black shirt guys. So just having him in the room and that type of leadership, especially for the other younger players, it's been really good, and I'm thankful to have him. I'm really excited for the future with him.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Rico. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you can access your home's equity for cash when you need it and how you need it for whatever you need it for, whether it's a remodel, a vacation. Maybe you need to find a way to make it to some of these home game or road games that Nebraska's going to be playing this year. You just want to follow the team around the country. You can use the equity from your home to make that happen, and typically you get lower interest rates than credit cards or personal loans. Go find out more at centrisfcu.org to get your application started and to get more information. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. Rico.
Yes.
I did confirm there has been no haircut. It doesn't look great.
Told you.
Got a little hat head going on.
Yeah.
So I will respect the hat situation, but I have confirmed there has not been a haircut.
Not great.
We checked in with his wife as well. She has not had a haircut for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So there has been no.
Cut it 3 weeks ago. I'm not cutting it this whole season.
Nebraska volleyball or football.
This whole season.
Whole season.
Till January.
Wait.
February. Nebraska will be in the playoffs. They'll be playing in January.
February.
Obviously.
Yes.
So that's
at the earliest.
Definitely can't cut it in January.
At the earliest, January, February in the best case scenario.
Unless the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, then March.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Unless Nebraska basketball is doing well.
Fair.
Then late April.
Yeah.
But
early April. It's Final Four is over.
You're a Creighton guy. Forget about that.
Yeah, I know when the NCAA tournament is. Not the Crown.
My bad. My bad.
I don't think you're going to be able to cut your hair until like mid-June.
I was going to say unless baseball is doing well too.
I think you got to get it done early in baseball season.
If track is doing, if wrestling is doing, it's going to be. I don't have to wait till the summer.
You may never be able to cut your hair again.
That's tough.
Well, but then if the Knicks are good,
doing, if the Knicks are good, I'm not touching my hair.
Yeah, because you ruined it last year.
I killed myself. That's what it was.
You killed the
hurt.
Knicks.
It hurt.
You killed them.
That stuff hurted.
Yeah, that wasn't great. That wasn't ideal. We're going to talk to DB coming up here in about 10 minutes. First, we have to get Rico's very bad prediction for the Nebraska football season.
First off, not very bad. That's hurtful.
Well, I mean, I'm just preparing people for a win number that's going to be too low.
It's not going to be too low. I said you're going to like me for 7 games.
All right. Let's start off. We're going to go game by game.
Okay.
Cincinnati, win or loss?
That is a win.
Akron?
That is easily a win.
Houston Christian?
You know what? I think no, that's a win.
Michigan?
That one is going to be a little bit tougher, but I think Nebraska being at home is going to help, although they did lose to them at home that last time. Just don't play the going into fourth quarter song. Don't get Michigan hyped up, and then I think you'll be good.
Okay.
I think you'll be good. I think that's a really close one, but I think it's a win.
All right, 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State.
That is a win because you don't have to go to the woodshed, and you have a better punter.
At Maryland.
That one is going to be extremely interesting because you do have to go, all the way to the East Coast, and Maryland. Actually, no, they lost their quarterback. I don't know anything about Maryland. They're going to beat Maryland.
Maryland's pretty bad.
They're going to beat Maryland.
At Minnesota.
I'm sorry.
This one's tough.
I'm sorry, Husker Nation.
I could see this one being a loss.
But I think that one, especially it being a night game up in
Friday,
Minnesota.
it's a weird Friday night.
On a Friday.
Yeah.
You're going up to Minneapolis. The boat's probably going to be rowing pretty well up to that point. I feel like PJ Fleck is going to have those boys going. I think Minnesota comes out with the win against Nebraska.
TK is a big Drake Lindsay guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Drake Lindsay.
So what is that? 6-1?
Yep.
All right. Northwestern.
Northwestern, for whatever reason, always wants to play Nebraska within one score or go to overtime. I don't think that's the case this year. Nebraska.
Yeah, I think they're bad. 7-1. USC.
They have to come to Nebraska. You're not going all the way out to California. I don't know what Lincoln Riley and USC is. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but Nebraska had them on the ropes, and you're not going to be a week long of a new offensive coordinator, so I think Nebraska wins this one too.
All right, 8-1. UCLA.
Is it weird if I say they lose this one?
No, I mean, if they're going on the road to Pasadena, that's a tough game.
There's going to be nobody in the stadium, but I think they lose to one of the California teams. I think UCLA is the one because you have to go on the road.
8-2. All right, Penn State.
That is a loss. I'm sorry.
8-3.
That's not even close.
Iowa. In Lincoln.
Heroes Trophy comes back home.
9-3.
There you go.
So you're only one off of me.
Yeah.
So why did you say they'd only like them for 7?
Because I don't think that people like the UCLA or the I don't think people like my UCLA or Minnesota pick.
I mean, honestly,
because I think a lot of people think the 2 losses are going to be Penn State and one of USC, Michigan.
So going back,
like you're going to lose one at home, and it's going to sting.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get blown out by any of the teams coming to Lincoln. You're not going to get blown up by any of those. Knock on wood. But it's going to be another 1-score loss, and you're going to feel like you're cursed, and there's going to be a point where Nebraska has a chance to win the game, and they don't.
So here's where I would change. I made the schedule video for our Hurrdat Sports social channels about a month ago at this point, a few weeks ago. I had the 2 losses to SC and Penn State. I probably would change that. I still think it's only 2 losses. I still think they're 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably change that to either Michigan State or Minnesota. Michigan State, I think, is a really interesting game.
Michigan State is going to be
coming off of the Michigan game.
Tough.
I think we're gonna learn a lot about Nebraska in week 5. The Michigan State game coming off a bye after Michigan, because whether Nebraska wins or loses that Michigan game, we're going to learn how they deal with it, right? 4-0, people will they'll be ranked at that point. People will be pretty high on them. You might, I mean, if both teams are undefeated going into Michigan, that might be a game day game.
Yeah, I say if Michigan takes care of business, like they probably
especially just beating Oklahoma would be the week before, right?
Yeah.
So that's
a tough one.
That would be a big deal if both teams are undefeated. That is going to be a huge game, nationally speaking.
No
right?
league Corso though.
So that's going to be really interesting, win or loss, to see how Nebraska deals with it, especially with a week off before Michigan State. Week 5, I think we learn a lot about this team. So Michigan State, I've got kind of my ears up for that one. If they have a home loss that's not Michigan, I think it's Michigan State now instead of USC.
Okay.
The other one that I'm looking at, if they take care of business at home, which I do think is possible, I do think they could go 7-0 at home this year.
Yeah.
It's
possible.
It's a chore.
It's completely possible, but your 2 toughest games are Michigan and USC at home.
Yes, but I think it's possible. If they do take care of business at home, I think the loss is to Minnesota. Circumstantially, I just think it's such a weird game. You're on the East Coast Saturday for Maryland. Then you have to come back, have short rest, and then go up to Minnesota on a Friday night. Situationally, it's a bad spot.
Who scheduled that?
Situationally, it's a bad spot.
Yeah.
And Minnesota's a type of team that can kind of take the air out of the game. If Nebraska's rolling at that point, they're going to be able to slow it down and get into a kind of a grimy, mucky game. That's one that I've got my ears up for as well. But I do think the second loss after Penn State is one of those 2.
If you can get an 11 a.m. kickoff for Maryland, I think that
would help.
Best situation you can ask for.
That would help. And it is a night game at Minnesota, so it can give you, it's not a full week, but if you can get an 11 o'clock game for Maryland, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Get out of the East Coast as soon
exactly.
as possible.
As soon as that game is over, dip. Don't even do a press conference. Just leave.
We'll do the press conference from the plane.
Exactly. Just stream in. We'll open up a StreamYard tab. We'll do it for him. We'll handle it.
So Rico's at 9-3, more optimistic than I was thinking based on your.
I changed it at the last second.
Teasing.
I did change it at the last second. If you want a true feeling, I think 8-4, and I think that they lose to USC as well.
Okay. I mean, listen, I think a lot of people are at 8-4. A lot of the guys we've talked to are at 8.
But that's good.
Are at 8-4.
Like that's a good
That's
year.
Improvement. I mean, it's a 2-win improvement from last year. I just look at it and go, people have asked me a lot because they think, I know a lot of people are saying 10-2 now. I was the first one to say 10-2.
Yes, you were.
I was the brave soldier out in front.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know,
you were out here
going through we're out here, right? That's where the magic happens. And so my thought was pretty simple. I go, okay. And I've said this before. Mike Eckler making special teams not disastrous is worth 2 wins from last year.
There it is.
You win Iowa, Illinois, full stop if special teams are not disastrous.
Mm-hmm.
I have no question in my mind about that. So that's what I look at last year and I go, okay, if Mike Eckler was on the staff last year, that's an 8-win team. No questions asked. I truly believe that.
Like not even improvement to the level of what Tennessee was.
Just don't be horrifying.
Yeah, just not bad.
Yeah, just get to not catastrophic on special teams last year. That is 2 more wins, no questions asked with the same team. I think this year's team is better than last year's team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I only have to extrapolate 2 things. 1, special teams, and 2, year 2 Raiola under a full year of Dana Holgorsen. Is that worth 1 or 2 more wins? I say yes.
I would.
That's how I get to 10.
I would think so.
It's pretty simple, right? And the schedule isn't like they're not playing Wisconsin schedule where you look at it and you're like, hey, they might be a lot better, but they're not winning any more games than they did last year.
Yeah.
I look at the schedule, I go, that is a manageable schedule. Trent brings up a good point, too. He says he thinks Barney's going to take one to the house. I think Barney's going to be better last year. I think the wide receivers are going to be better than they were last year.
Like Barney's going to be better, and he's wide receiver 3.
Yeah. And it's possible that you have a better version of last year's Barney in Cortez Mills. Like,
man,
I think there's people that believe Cortez Mills is more explosive than Ja'Cory Barney, which is saying a lot.
Just go 5 wide. Just go 5 wide. I don't need. Yeah, I know that Dana Holgorsen was like, yeah, I'm kicked out of the air raid club. We're going to run the damn ball. He said that, people. Dana Holgorsen said they're going to run the damn ball.
Yeah.
Just go 5 wide. If you have all of that talent at wide receiver, just go 5 wide.
I mean, listen, you can do some fun stuff back there. But that's how I get to 10. It's really not a stretch.
It's not. If I told you Nebraska went 10-2 and they lost their last 2 games,
I would still take it.
Okay.
It'd be crappy to lose, like to go 10-0 then lose the last 2.
Mm-hmm.
But like I would definitely still take it.
Okay.
Now I don't know if you lose your last 2 if you make college football playoff, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like 10-2, any way it comes. Listen, any way it comes.
You get to 10 wins.
I will take it.
Hey.
Like let's not be
mad at it.
Let's not be crazy.
Not mad at it.
Right? 9-3, any way it comes, I will take it.
You're right.
Right? Coming up next, we will take our chats to our friend DB as he joins us from Kansas City. That's Rico. I'm Ravi. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
I would say they don't, if that kind of makes sense. I feel like the whole day, of course, was so slow and everything was taking forever. And it was like, can this game just like kind of speed up and like start? I would say the first 5 points definitely was kind of like, whoa, where am I? What am I doing? Like, this is like, and then of course my teammates had to tell me like, we're just playing volleyball. Like, it's just a big game in a big arena with a lot of people. And so I think it was a good and a bad thing, but I think started settling in after like the first 10 points.
Did anything prepare you for that, or what can prepare you for an experience like that?
I definitely had to get right with myself and with my teammates. I feel like learning to embrace the nerves is a good thing. I feel like you can shy away from it, you can try to avoid it all you want, but like I'm human, I'm young, I don't get to experience a lot of these things like so young, and so just being able to like, listen to worship, kind of calm myself down. I mean, be with my teammates. I mean, me and Lainey had a lot of talks before the game of just like, we're just playing volleyball. It's just a volleyball game. We do this every day at practice. Been doing this since I was 9. Like, I know what I'm doing, and just like, it's just in a bigger stage.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I don't.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Nebraska football.
Rogers takes the ball at the 30. He's hit and got away. Back upfield to the 35, to the 40. He's to the 45. He's to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 20, to the 10. He's all the way home. Holy moly. Man, woman, and child did that. Put him in the eye.
Nebraska football. The house that Manning and Osborne built.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
Oh, they don't have him yet. Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break? Touchdown.
The house of championships.
Here's a hand up to Thunder, who gives it back to Mike Stuntz. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out to 40. It is. Larry Crouch, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Yes!
Armstrong looking, holding, throws out the flat. Pass caught by Amir. Trying to avoid the rush. He does. He has a first down. Bouncing off tacklers to the 45. Amir to the 40. Amir to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, touchdown, Amir Abdullah. What an amazing catch and run. Kellogg's throw. It's going to be tipped and caught. It's caught. It's caught in the touchdown, Western Towns.
Now, Coach Matt Rhule looks to lead the team into a new era.
Who's the guy that's supposed to make the difference? I'm surrounded by him. Now you guys freaking do it. We on the same page? Yes, sir. Fight, fight, fight!
Throw, passes, intercepted, touchdown Nebraska. Pick 6, Tommy Hill. Pick 6, Big Red.
I can see it happening. Bullock takes away the slant. Sanders has to hold it. Pick 6. Give me all of them.
Nebraska football. Can you feel it?
Play clock at 5. Snap put down, kicks in and is blocked. Huskers blocked the kick. Keep the 0 on the board. It was Ty Robinson up in the air to knock it down.
Boy, that middle is as soft as sharp. Gotta toughen up, Buttercup.
Dylan checking off, 12 on the play clock. Hands extended, gets the snap. Looks middle, looks over the middle, pass fired. It's caught, 5, and that's Nelson into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. Carter Nelson coming towards with his first 6 points as a Cornhusker.
Nebraska, Cincinnati.
Make the handoff over the pocket to the near side. Looking downfield, has a man open downfield and shoots it too high, and it's picked off. Intercepted Malcolm Hartzog. 10 up to the 14-yard line as Malcolm Hartzog now to the 19 as he goes and start the mashed potatoes dance. Huskers get a pick.
Oh, you can feel it. The Nebraska football season starts now.
Welcome into hour number 2 here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Rico. I'm Ravi. That's Shane cooking on the intro. And we've got our guy, DB, joining us now live from Kansas City. What's up, DB?
How we doing, man? Hanging in there?
Oh, yeah. We're trying to deal with Rico, but we're doing all right.
I can't imagine that's been too bad.
It's been fantastic. I'm great, and I got the call that I'll be replaced. No, I'm kidding. I already apologized for all of the dumb things I was going to say in your stead, and it's only been an hour, and there's a lot of apologies needed.
Well, we were cheering for you. I just want you to know, Austin, myself, Katie, who, by the way, is absolutely hilarious.
Dr. Girlfriend?
She's funny. I'm not even going to kid you. It was a highly entertaining drive.
I mean, she's got to deal with Austin, so yeah, you gotta have something.
Yeah, I I'm one of those guys. It's like I always make fun of the people that say they preface something with what they don't want to be, and then they actually say what they are. And I told her at one point, I looked back and I said, "Hey, I don't mean to be offensive, and I'm ultimately going to be offensive." I said, "You are hilarious." I said, "But do you know what it is? Like, you're giving me," and I paused, and I'm like, "Gosh, do I? Don't I?" We're only like an hour 30 into this thing. She's going to be like, "This guy's an idiot." I'm like, "You're giving me strong guy vibes. Like, your comedic skills are that of, it's pretty guyish." She's like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I have all brothers, and Austin's the girl of the relationship. So yeah." I was in tears for the next 10 minutes. I mean, and it's funny too, because Austin is exactly like we think. So I was good. It was good to know that he's pretty authentic too, even in that relationship role. It was a good ride, man. Bittersweet morning, fellas. I woke up, I'm thinking to myself, I was supposed to be excited, and I had to manage my emotions a little bit. So I got some Alicia Keys, doing a good job. Played that over and over, trying to motivate myself. It's tough with Micah being in Omaha North tonight, and Caleb being here. I had to remind myself that parenting is extremely difficult. So as I get ready to settle in and get this day going, I'm thinking of Kyle, who I haven't seen since last night, man. The nerves that guy's got, and I don't know, man. The kickoff can't get here soon enough, just so I can kind of manage everything that's going on in my head. I'm trying not to overthink it, but I woke up with a different feeling than I thought. That's for sure.
How did you think you were going to feel this morning?
I don't know, like pumped, like
excited.
Yeah, ready to attack the day, and it just, I don't know, like a wave of emotions hit all at once, like, well, how's such and such feeling, and how's such and such feeling, and what more could I be doing? And I don't know, man. It just, you never know with me, right? And so I think that's the joy and the frustration about me is, every day emotionally brings something new. I just try to balance it.
How much of that do you think is, not to play like armchair psychologist here or anything, but like how much of that do you think is the like parental part of, Micah's in Omaha playing, Caleb's in KC playing, and how much of it do you think is kind of the coach part as well, where you feel torn about not being there for your guys tonight in Omaha, but being there for your teammate Kyle as he opens up his season as well? Like, how much of it is the parent thing? How much of it's that?
Yeah, it's all of it. And I think for me, why I listen to that song, you got to go listen to it. It's pretty encouraging. And sometimes you just have to remind yourself that there's just varying degrees of difficulties and decisions. But I think it's threefold, right? I think about Kyle and his preparation, and kind of what this job means to him, like kind of what he's always wanted to do. And I don't want to bother him. I want to encourage him. I don't really know his vibe yet. So there's a certain degree of unknown, for what that open and that first quarter is going to be like. There's that, right? You walk in last night, I think we pulled in about 9, and there's all these Nebraska fans, and the lobby's loaded. And I'm immediately thinking to myself, oh my God, like, where's the elevator? Um, I talked to a couple of coaches, and it settled me down for a second because it was just kind of about football. Caleb sent a message when I was on the interstate, and it was just weird, right? He sends a message and he says, RVP says, what up? I looked at Austin. I'm going, what's wrong with this dude? Like, of all the things, like, you're gonna send me a vamp. I don't know. You can ask Austin. Like, I'm dead serious. And so I said, oh man, we're on our way down. ETA is whatever. He's like, oh, we're just at the movies. We're watching Superman. See you when you get here. And so that was like, in that moment, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's what it's about, right? Movie night with your guys. Maybe he's excited to see his dad. And I get up this morning and I'm like, is this guy going to be nervous when he comes out of the like, who has more nerves, me or him? Right. So then I recalibrated, and I'm not thinking about not being there tonight against Omaha North. And then I get a text message from my special teams maven, and he's like, hey, need your depth chart and rotation ASAP. And I'm just thinking, ooh, back to reality. It's like just the back and forth. And I don't know. The game, like I said, can't get here soon enough. Just too much time to myself, and I'm gonna go take a great big long walk and hopefully not run into anybody from Nebraska. But from the looks of it, that's going to be next to impossible. I cannot believe how many people are here. I don't even know. I get it. There's people coming down to this morning, but has anybody left in the state of Nebraska other than people that are like, I don't know, man. It just seems like it seems like Nebraska has definitely moved south.
It's just me, Rico, and Shane. That's the only.
That's it.
Left.
Everybody else is gone.
I like Shane's open. That was pretty good.
That was legit. Got a little goosebumps. It was nice.
Yeah,
chicken skin, as Dylan would call it.
Chicken skin.
If I could just press fast forward, which is everything that I not about, right? I'm Mr. Stay in the moment and try to maximize, but I'm just telling you, tonight can't get here fast enough.
So you were talking about how many Nebraska fans are down. Like, what's the scene been like? Like, is it as dramatic as we sort of anticipated?
Yeah, it's that and then some. I bumped into a lot of the parents of players. I saw the Lindenmeyers and the Ingersons. Talked to Dom for a long time about Dylan and his lovely wife, and like that's the cool part that like zeroes you in, right? I was chopping it up with the Merritts for a while about Dawson, and you sometimes forget, like, from a fan's perspective or covering these guys in the media, there's this parental caregiver vibe, this element that of just unwavering support. And I pit that against practically the state moving south, right? The unwavering support. And it's a special thing and a special place. And I can't wait. I was rereading Dirk's tweet about the kind of the tenor and the tone of the fan base tonight and what he thought it would be. And I think he's spot on in terms of the energy and the passion and the love that I think will be at Arrowhead tonight. And I just hope the guys and the staff feeds off it, because I think it's relatively unique. You don't get to take those things for granted. So I hope when it hits them, man, it really sinks in.
So I am curious, as we kind of get into talking about the game here. We've talked a little bit about it all week, but I do wonder, as we get to game day, you and I have kind of talked, I think, off air about how we think this game might go.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you out there unless you want to say it, but as you're getting there, we're less than 12 hours away now. Like, have you started to get a vibe of how you think this one's going to go?
Yeah, I think, early on, I think last week I was telling you off air, and then on air, I think I've kind of dumbed this down to Nebraska's defensive front versus Cincinnati's offensive line. And the cat and mouse matchups in terms of what Nebraska wants to do in terms of neutralizing Sorsby and how I think Cincinnati wants to play. And it's intriguing because I think Satterfield's style has a blueprint a lot more than I think Nebraska's versatility up front. So right there, I think advantage Nebraska, where I think Nebraska's got a ton of pieces, a ton of parts, and movable parts that I think that they can utilize. Now, they still have to go out and play well. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not just because, the element of surprise and, advantage Nebraska. They still have to go out and execute. So I like that advantage for Nebraska. I also think, and I'm watching, hours upon hours of how I think Cincinnati wants to move the ball. And it was confirmed by MRI yesterday, right? He was joking about how I'm smiling and I lit up because I'm trying to figure out how Cincinnati is going to keep Nebraska honest with some interior run game. Like, how will they get to some sort of tackle-to-tackle run game? I don't think Cincinnati can make a living with just perimeter run game. And so, can Nebraska hold up on the edges, right? Can our secondary level guys get off blocks and dominate the perimeter? Because if they can, it could be tough sledding for Cincinnati offensively. Coach Satterfield said last week, he wouldn't necessarily call the offensive line the strength of his team. I thought that was interesting. And that would be if it's a posture move and he's playing cards, that would be, my man's playing like 7 deuce offsuit kind of with that comment. So it's hard not to get into that. And I get into the schematics. I just think if Nebraska keeps their wits about them and plays with some poise, then they've got a chance to do big things. The one X factor, I think, for Nebraska is it's just not a team historically you've been able to trust. And, they've kind of been in some of these moments and they've had expectations and it hasn't come to fruition. And so I battle in my own head Nebraska playing against history, which is what I always get upset about people actually doing, right? This is not 2003 against Okie State, Power 4 last season opening win is not this team's burden to bear. But I can't unknow what I know.
Yeah.
So I think once we get past the trust aspect of this team could be pretty good. I said, how long will it take for us to say out loud that this is a pretty good football team? Well, now we're here, right? I can say it incrementally. I think it's a pretty good offensive line. I think they're talented at quarterback. I think, Ja'Cory Barney's a really good player. I think they've got some experience and some depth on the back end. Like, those things are all factual. Like, I know these things. Now, how they manifest themselves tonight in an opener, again, humans are the single greatest variable on the planet. So we got to let that bad boy ride. But, man, I'm telling you, if Nebraska, they got a chance to be pretty good. And I mean that. I felt that for the last couple of months. I feel it watching them live. I like the temperament of the coaching staff in terms of injecting and infusing confidence and not blinking. Because this deal right here, when you get into this kind of competition, and you're going to have 70,000 screaming fans, and it's national television. You gotta drill down to the most finite, and the most finite is what you have in that locker room with each other. It's not some corny coach talk or fathers. It's none of that. It is real. And when those guys come out of that tunnel and they're holding hands, man, it's about them. It's got nothing to do with anything else. And the more that they can compartmentalize that and do these kinds of things in the moment, this team's got a chance to be pretty good because talent isn't an issue. It's not. And I believe that. I've seen this deal long enough, and I can look at body types and see guys run around. Talent is not an issue. It will be, can these guys navigate the 6 inches between their ears to give themselves the best opportunity to play to their God-given ability? And that's what it's going to boil down to. That's what openers are about. Who can manage their emotions the best, because mistakes are going to be made. It's who can stay in the moment and tee this thing up for 60 minutes. And at the end of the day, that's how Nebraska will ultimately earn this fan base trust, where I think they can truly rally, because from a talent standpoint, they're where they need to be, at least at this juncture.
So you want to talk about talent? We're speaking with self-proclaimed Grill Master, Hurrdat Sports Live, Radio Network, football color commentator Damon Benning. Speaking of talent and mistakes, we were talking earlier about Nebraska's defensive line and them getting pressure on Cincinnati and Sorsby in the passing game. I know you guys talked with MRA yesterday, and he mentioned a lot about the run game and stopping the run and keeping Sorsby from using his legs. But in terms of getting to the quarterback with 4 new offensive linemen for Cincinnati, we set the over-under. I set the over-under at 3.5 sacks, something like that. What are your thoughts on Nebraska's defensive line getting pressure on Sorsby in the passing game, at least?
Yeah, I think they just got so. As far as the hard data and stats, I'm not sure, but what I will tell you is the key for these guys. And I got a chance to. The first player that I saw in the lobby last night was Riley Van Poppel. He was with his parents, and I gave him a big bear hug from behind, and I asked him if I said, "Hey," I said, "You dialed? You ready to go?" And he's like, "Man, I'm just ready to be relentless." And I slept on that word forever because it can mean a lot of things, right? Relentless in the pursuit of happiness, relentless in the pursuit of excellence, relentless in the pursuit of, you fill in the blank. If this front can play with just that relentless intensity, they have numbers in which they can come at you in waves. How hard and how relentless are you willing to be to get Sorsby to the ground? I loved it. I said this to Ravi. I said it on the show. There was this weird thing that came over me listening to the intensity in which Coach Butler talked about setting the tone by getting hits on Sorsby, not allowing his physicality to dictate how that game was going to play out, how he wanted his team to understand that he needs to feel their presence early to get this bad boy started. And I love it because there's that warp kind of, I don't know, Ravi, go ahead and say it, that serial killer mentality where I enjoy that aspect of competition and saying if we can truly get to a point where I can snatch the life out of you, where you can see the soul just leave the body, where you're like, man, I don't want to be out here anymore. That's the kind of relentless pursuit that this defensive line is capable of playing with. They have the numbers to play that way. But when that gas meter is going from full to empty and everywhere else in between, can you stay right there and be relentless? If they can, they have a chance to be a really disruptive unit, and it starts tonight.
DB, so as you're talking about this, you're talking about humans being the biggest variable. You're talking about being relentless. You're talking about a killer mentality. And
I mean, our own D coordinator talked about the hunt.
Yeah.
If you will. I love it.
You would.
And so I'm sitting, you're talking about, hey, like talent's not the issue. And I agree with you there. And I'm sitting here, and I promise this is a Nebraska point, but just give me a second. I'm sitting here, I'm watching Coco Gauff in the U.S. Open 2 days ago, right, in her opening round. This is somebody who talent's never been a question, right? But we sit here, and she goes, she straight up has 2 parts of her game that just are not working right now: her serve and her forehand. She cannot rely on them; they just disappear. She's literally led the tour in double faults the last 2 years, right?
Well, she's coming off of 89 unforced errors, right?
Yeah. Yes, correct. And in a match that she won, right? So
89. That's a big number.
That is giving away more points than it takes to win the sets to win the match, like that, literally. So I'm sitting here and I go, okay, this is a person who has no reliability on 2 of the most important parts of her game, and yet in the last 2 years has made 2 semifinals in majors, has made a quarterfinal in majors, won the French Open this year, has 4 titles over the last 2 years. And I think to myself, if Nebraska, and I know we don't always love the press conference answers and maybe some of the antics or whatever, but I sit here and watch someone who cannot rely on 2 of the most important parts of their game, and she wins anyway. And I can't help but sit here and think, if Nebraska can channel just a little Coco Gauff over the course of this season, then that's kind of what we're talking about, right? Like things, you have to be able to win when things don't go right, right? Like you have to be able to win when there's certain parts of your game that you're used to relying on that don't go the way you want them to. And sometimes you have to, like you're talking about, snatch the will from your opponents to continue to play. And sometimes you have to end up with the other team saying, I don't know how we lost that game. Our stats look better. I mean, it's probably how Kansas State felt against Iowa State on Saturday, right? You're like, our stats look better. We felt like we controlled the game, and we come up on the short end of it. Like, if Nebraska can do a little bit of that, I'm going to feel really good about this year.
Yeah, I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's the key. It's really, really critical. And, you know, what has ailed this program and this team in the past, yeah, you know, some of it has been due to the physical prowess, right? You always want better players. Mm-hmm. But I think the crux of their issues have come from that 6-inch space that they've got to navigate between their ears. And that's from the top on down, right? From leadership to coaching, you know, it's trickled into the fan base. And it's like this mental, this mind game of us against ourselves. And, you know, it's such a daily battle. I mean, look, I woke up with one, right? Where you're managing 15,000 different things and you have to remind yourself to stay in the moment. And I'm experienced with failure. So you'd think I would know how to navigate that a little better than this morning when it presents itself. But that thing with this football team is the thing that I was most excited about. And I told you about the CEO portion of Coach Rhule that I love is the individual touches that he can provide with position groups or specific players, where he can inject some of that competitive endurance into the spirits of players. Because if they can develop the just hang in there and to know that the goal is to get your opponent to quit before you do. You just have to train in such a way where time doesn't matter. And it's easy to say, but it's not as difficult to do as we make it out to be. And the work that these guys have put in physically, right? Taking it down to the wire and when to put on half or shells or go helmets only, or, you know, the Tuesday, their Sunday being a good work day and getting after it. Like, he's not doing a walk and talk saying, hey, this was a Tuesday practice for us. It was a good work day. He knows. He's asked around. He knows what Tuesdays and Wednesdays are supposed to mean on game week in terms of your capacity to take your guys there physically, where you roll tape on Saturday, or in this case, Thursday night, and the players need to be saying to themselves, you know what? Practices was a little bit more grueling than the games, right? The tempo in which we move at practice and the physicality in which we play at practice was a little more grueling than what happened in games, because that's the goal. And when you play with that kind of confidence and you're in elite level shape, you feel better about yourself. And for this team, it's not even about starting fast. You know, I hate that, right? It's been their inability to finish. And it's not a physical finish. It's an emotional finish. It's like, oh my God, it's close. And how are we going to find a way to wet the bed? That's what's been this team's, or this program's problem. What this team has to understand is that's not their burden to bear. Right? It's not for them. It's for us in the media to talk about. It's for the fans to worry about. It's for the naysayers to worry about. It cannot be for this football team. It is not their burden to bear. Stay right here, tee it up, let your nuts hang for 60 minutes, and let the results be what they will. If they can just do that, it's the whole simple versus easy thing. They'll be just fine.
We're speaking with big game hunter Damon Benning.
Yeah, I get hyped, man. See, the switch is starting to flip a little bit.
He's getting into it, and this is kind of what I wanted to get into. Is you said you woke up and you kind of had these internal battles that you were going through. How different? Like, what are these players going through in being in a new city for the opening game of the season, and and not being like a true road game? You've got all these fans and everything, but you have to sit in this hotel room or whatever they're doing until you end up going to Arrowhead Stadium. Like, what is the mental toll that is going on for these players? I mean, you already spoke about how it's going with you. What about the guys that are going to be on the field, and like, how are they going to deal with that? You talked about dealing with everything up here. How are they going through that?
Yeah, everybody's kind of got their journey, right? Where some guys kind of like music, some guys pace, some guys like solitude. The coaches did a really good job, I think, the last couple of weeks of simulating the game week. Hey, the day of the game, just last Thursday, breakfast was at a certain time. You get your downtime. You get to recovery. You get to your meetings. You have X amount of time blocked off. Then you get to your next portion of the meetings. You get your bus schedule and your itinerary, and you try to map yourself through that. It's not necessarily muscle memory, but it's emotional memory. Now, the X factor is adrenaline. Like, this Thursday is different than last Thursday, because at 8:05 when toe meets leather, it's all heads to bed, right? Which is different than going through the simulated game Thursday. So guys managing those emotions throughout the course of the day are the ones that'll best be able to channel when the game actually kicks off. It is a long, long day. We'll count this down 11 hours, 10 hours, 9. Just imagine all the sweat equity that those guys have put in to get to this point. Managing the day is critical. I'm talking about from fuel to hydration to mental fortitude, just managing the day. And their training techniques with kind of their mind gurus, I think can pay huge dividends, especially for a team like this, who is actually for the first time playing with some expectations that aren't their own. They always have their own internal expectations. This team has got to manage those, filtering out the external, the lofty record predictions, or the actual fearing failure where I don't trust this team. I just can't see them turning the corner. Historically, they don't win games. There's that too, right? So the ability to compartmentalize and put your blinders on and understand what the task at hand is, and to be regimented in the day, that's the key, Rico. It is difficult to do, but believe me, they prepared for this day for a long time.
DB, as we kind of look at the game tonight, we went through this kind of strange exercise about what people thought would happen today. Do you have like a strangely specific prediction of something you think is going to happen tonight?
Yeah, I look for, if a ball is kicked in play on a kickoff, I envision like a huge Nebraska return in some capacity, punt or kick return. It's the only real tangible thing that I've been able to kind of actually put more than a blur to. I think Nebraska does something particularly exciting in the return game tonight.
I like it.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I mean,
you're not the only one that thought that.
It is what it is.
Punt return touchdown for Ja'Cory Barney was a pretty popular one.
Yeah, he's electric. I am excited to see him. He is just imagine like a lion or a panther or tiger just getting their pace game right. Like, he is managing his emotions is critical for a guy that is ready to tee it up just about every second of the day. He is he and Cortez Mills, man, they're highly competitive dudes.
DB, you were talking earlier, and I meant to ask you, but I forgot. Now it came back to me finally. You were talking about
welcome to that's the story of my life.
I feel like Shane. I'm on a little delay here, but that's okay. You were talking about the offensive line of Cincinnati versus the defensive line of Nebraska. And I brought that up earlier with Rico as well. And he goes like, hey, well, he was kind of playing devil's advocate, which I didn't appreciate. But he said, hey, Nebraska's kind of breaking in some new, or at least a little bit more experienced defensive linemen as well. And my answer was, chemistry matters more on the offensive line than defensive line. Am I correct?
100%.
Okay.
100%. It's not that defense is easier to coach, because it certainly isn't, with all the stupid offensive rules and, not touching guys, but without drawing a flag and disconcerting. I mean, it's just nonsense. But anyway, when you're trained the way that this team is trained defensively to with block destruction and to play with intensity and, balls to the wall and violence, right? That's a different mindset than, getting to the double on duo or, cutting off backside mics in zone, right? There's some physicality to it, but solving problems with aggression isn't as easy for offensive guys as it is for defensive guys. And so at the end of the day, that's the number one rule, man. Solve problems with aggression. 9 times out of 10, when you do that, you'll get the desired outcome you want on the football field. And I think that's the mentality that this defense has to have, right? It truly is a hunt, and it's a big game hunt. I mean, Bearcats, they're tough to bring down. And, that's just the mentality. It was the vibe I got from RVP last night. It was the vibe that I got from the juice, some of those defensive guys in the lobby last night. Like, their mentality is definitely to go hunt. I'm not sure that sentiment plays as well on the offensive line, even though you ask some of these guys, the Orlando Paces, the Lincoln Kennedys, Trent Williams, who enjoys violence at a high collision rate. There are those guys, but timing and technique and being in tandem, it's just different for O-line than it is for D-line.
That's our guy, DB. Damon, hope you have a peaceful rest of the day as you kind of navigate what's going on here. And, I'm sure we'll be in touch at some point.
Guess who's not going to be on that 12:45 bus on the way over to the stadium?
Yeah, you don't need to be there 7 hours early, my guy. What are we doing?
What's for lunch today, Damon?
Not your boy.
You're not eating today, right?
Man, I didn't get to, we went to this place called Coaches with the radio crew, and Ryan actually drove us. And it's just right around the corner, and the kitchen closed. So I DoorDashed a breakfast sandwich that I didn't even eat. So I looked at it and I'm like, I've done some crazy things with food, but it's my own. I'm not revisiting those eggs on that sandwich this morning. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be outside my window here in a minute. If it gets past 10, I'm not touching a thing.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna let you go. Go get something to eat.
Eat something.
Eat something today, please.
Well, I'm the guy. You've seen it, Ravi. I'll like Google and research for hours before I even land the plane. I'm up against the clock, so I'll probably just wave the white flag and quit like I always do.
Oh man, I'm concerned for you today, DB.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. Micah didn't answer the phone this morning either, so I'm doubly pissed.
Oh, come on, Micah.
Nah, he'll probably say he was at school or something. I don't know. I doubt it.
I was in class, Dad.
I was being a responsible student.
Okay.
Yeah, that whole student athlete thing pisses me.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm sure we'll text throughout the day, but I wish you all the best in all of the games you've got going on in your life today, and can't wait to listen to you on the call.
It truly is go big red, whether you're a Warrior or a Husker. Let's go get it.
Also a little go big blue because we got Miller North.
Stop. Why are you the way you are?
Shout out Alan Burrell.
That's our guy. Appreciate you, DB.
You got it.
That's our guy, the one and only Damon Benning.
Big game hunter.
Husker Radio Network, and of course, always here on Hurrdat Sports Live as well. Appreciate him joining us this morning. I hope he gets something to eat today. I'm genuinely concerned.
He better. I am excited for his first interception call.
Oh yeah. I just don't want him to pass out in the booth.
If Caleb gets a pick.
I wish him all the best. I know it's a lot to navigate everything he's got going on today. So I hope he gets some food in his stomach to help him out navigating those things. Because you know me, I get hangry.
Yeah.
I get hangry. So do you.
Oh, no, I don't.
You get so hangry.
I am
in the
such
office.
a nice person.
No, you turned into a Bearcat real quick, smelling like your own urine. We'll be back with more Hurrdat Sports Live.
I would say they don't, if that kind of makes sense. I feel like the whole day, of course, was so slow and everything was taking forever. And it was like, can this game just kind of speed up and start? I would say the first 5 points definitely was kind of like, whoa, where am I? What am I doing? This is and then of course my teammates had to tell me we're just playing volleyball. It's just a big game in a big arena with a lot of people. And so I think it was a good and a bad thing, but I think it started settling in after the first 10 points.
Did anything prepare you for that, or what can prepare you for an experience like that?
I definitely had to get right with myself and with my teammates. I feel like learning to embrace the nerves is a good thing. I feel like you can shy away from it. You can try to avoid it all you want, but like I'm human. I'm young. I don't get to experience a lot of these things like so young, and so just being able to like, listen to worship, kind of calm myself down. I mean, be with my teammates. I mean, me and Lainey had a lot of talks before the game of just like, we're just playing volleyball. It's just a volleyball game. We do this every day at practice. Been doing this since I was 9. Like, I know what I'm doing, and just like, it's just in a bigger stage.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be selfish and take the ball. So I'm not sure. That's a coach rule call. That's above my pay grade.
What about that captain honor though?
Yeah.
Getting the captain vote as a sophomore, one of the younger ones in the program history.
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor to be able to represent this football team, and represent, honestly, not even the guys here right now, but everyone that came before us. Every single person that's walked through these doors, names up in the stadium, championships that have been won, and to be able to, wear a C on my jersey. It's a lot more than just the patch. It's more of the blood, sweat, and tears that I had with these guys, and just them being able to respond to me trying to lead them, and all the guys that deserve captain honors. So it's an honor. Like I said, I'm very humbled to be in the position that I'm in to represent this football team.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now, Vegas insider, senior handicapper, and fan of the cold Budweiser bottles, Brian Edwards.
It's got to be touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Brian Edwards.
I don't really love it.
Brian Edwards.
The way they're using the cream cheese to butter the bagel.
Brian Edwards.
I'm going with the cowgirl.
Here is Brian Edwards.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Rico. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Real quick before we get to B, I got to give a quick announcement from the Nebraska athletic department. Just some heads up for what's going on at the game tonight. Parking lots for the game tonight at Jihad Stadium open at 3:30 p.m. All fans must purchase parking passes in advance at Geha Field at arrowheadstadium.com/parking. Geha spelled G-E-H-A, by the way. Geha Field at arrowheadstadium.com/parking. Fans should access tickets and passes through mychiefsaccount.com or the Chiefs mobile app prior to arrival. Tickets and parking passes are mobile only, and fans are encouraged to save to their mobile wallet for easy access. Fans can track and ongoing MoDOT, that's Missouri Department of Transportation construction, through KC Scout Camera Network at kcscout.com, or can get real-time traffic updates on the Waze app. Fans are encouraged to plan and arrive early. Guests using rideshare services may drop off and pick up at the Missouri Welcome Center located between gates 1 and 2 on Blue Ridge Cutoff. Fans can find additional information and view an interactive parking map by visiting, again, Geha Field at arrowheadstadium.com/stadium map. So that's a lot of information there. All for you.
Yeah, that's not going to cause any issues.
But Geha Field at arrowhead.com. Make sure you get there. You can find your parking, your stadium map, all that kind of stuff if you're headed down there today. And if you are headed down there today, make sure you are driving safely.
Yeah.
This message brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Be safe, everybody. Why 3:30? Open it at noon.
Yeah, just open it now. Let's just
open it now. Like, open it at noon. Let people come in, because if not, then 3:30 you're gonna have people at the back of that line with the cars, and they're barely gonna get into the stadium. Like, it's gonna be a long line.
Yeah, it's
because somebody's not gonna have it saved on their mobile wallet.
Yeah, save it on your mobile wallet, guys. Let's figure it out. It's the Chiefs mobile app. Get it done. All right, let's get to our guy Brian Edwards from Major Wager, our Vegas insider. B, we've got a full slate of college football, buddy. It's time.
No more boring summer nights with Netflix. You've watched everything that you have on there.
It's all done.
Yeah, it's all over. All that nonsense is done.
It's time to go. So we've got a couple here. You know, I know you saw a couple of teams that we saw last week, UNLV and Sam Houston. They've got the over at 61. We saw UNLV get little slow start, but they scored a bunch of points last week. How are you feeling about that total there?
Yeah, I think overs are maybe going to be a thing for UNLV this year. I mean, they give up 555 total yards and 30 first downs to an Idaho State team from the FCS level that went 5-7 last year. And then, as usual, you know, Mullen got his 500 plus yards and a lot of points as well. And it should have been more points. Idaho State threw an interception on 1st and goal from UNLV's 3, and Alex Orji, UNLV's quarterback, coughed up a ball at the goal line for a touchback. So, and they got to, they got well into the 60s last week. And Sam Houston's game was 41-24 to Western Kentucky for 65 combined. So I went over 60.5 Monday morning thinking the line would move. It did. It went up to 62.5, but I see this morning it's come back down to 61. Fantastic. Over 61 UNLV and Sam Houston.
So we've got a bunch of the major games this weekend. I want to get to all those, but before we do that, whether you're playing those or not, just want to get your vibes on them. There are a couple of games that you really like. So you've got Buffalo is your favorite tonight, and Toledo is your favorite for the whole weekend. Tell me about those.
Yeah, so Darius Taylor, stud running back for Minnesota. PJ Fleck likes to run the ball anyway. And so he's got Drake Lindsey, a redshirt freshman quarterback, making his first career start. So he's going to want to run the ball even more so than normal. So the key to the handicap is Buffalo's front 7 and run defense. And Phil Steele's national unit rankings have Buffalo 44 on the D-line, 72 at linebacker. They've got a middle linebacker, Red Murdoch, second in the country in tackles last year with 156, 17 tackles for loss, 7 forced fumbles, led the country. 11 forced fumbles in his career, is 13 in college football history. Their DN, Kobe Stewart, led the MAC in sacks last year. Their linebacker, Deion Crawford had 17 TFLs as well last year. They've got a stud running back, Al-J Henderson, 1,079 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns, 5.3 yards per carry average last year. And Buffalo won 5 in a row to end the season, went 9-4, 9 starters back on defense. I think they cover plus 17.5 at Minnesota.
And then you've got Toledo this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got them at plus 11, but it was back up to plus 9 I saw yesterday. Looks like a couple 9.5s, maybe by the half point to 10. I'm just down on Kentucky, and Toledo is going to be really good. They went 2-0 against Power 4 last year. They won at Mississippi State 41-17, but they were up 35-3 with 6 minutes left in the third. They bring a lot back. They're going to be very good. Upset alert for Kentucky.
All right, let's move on to some of the big games over the course of the weekend. I know Alabama, Florida State is one of the first ones at 2:30. That one, though, you've got some question marks on player availability for the Crimson Tide.
Two of their best players are out. Senior defensive tackle Tim Keenan and running back Jam Miller. Not only are they out, but Tim Keenan had tightrope surgery on his ankle yesterday, like Tua had to have back in 2019. So they're hoping he'll be back for September 27th, I believe it is, week 5 at Georgia. That's the earliest he could be back. Same with Jam Miller. And then they're Jaden Roberts, offensive guard, preseason third-team All-American in Phil Seal's mag. He's been in concussion protocol for a couple weeks, had not been cleared out of protocol as of yesterday, so very questionable, if not doubtful, for him. I'm passing on the side in total. FanDuel, now this is how they were. They don't do an over-under. They do like Ryan Williams, Alabama's stud freshman receiver last year, now a sophomore. It's a prop 80-plus receiving yards, plus 116 odds. So I think if it hits 80, it's a push. 81 or more, you win, and that's plus 116 player prop.
So you like the over on the 80 yards?
Yep.
So passing on the side, is that just you don't like Florida State enough to take advantage of the injuries?
Well, just too many questions with FSU in general, and then I just have not seen Ty Simpson play against live bullets. I think FSU got some studs in the portal, and so maybe the chemistry will be a lot better this year, and maybe Castellanos will be really good. I looked at Castellanos' rushing yards prop, and I wanted to take it, but because sack yardage gets, what if he takes 3 sacks for 8-yard average and loses 24? I mean, I have no doubt he's going to have 50 or so rushing yards, maybe more.
Yeah.
But what if he has 25 minus in sacks? So I pass on Castellanos' rushing yards prop.
For sure. The biggest game of the weekend, obviously, Texas and Ohio State. Ohio State 1.5 point favorite. That's come down a little bit, right? That was at 2.5 earlier in the week.
Correct. And even like 3 a month and a half ago. But yeah, it's been 2.5 all week, so it looks like they're getting some Texas money. This one is a pass for me, gun to the head, and I do have a contest where I have to pick 25 games against the spread. I haven't done it yet. In fact, note to self, get on that right after this. I'm probably going to pick Texas in that, but it's not a bet of mine. I haven't seen Julian Sayin play. I hadn't seen a ton of Arch. It's his first career road start. It's a pass, but I'm probably going to pick Texas because I think they got the best defense in the country. I think Ohio State lost a lot. So I'm probably going to pick Texas in my contest.
Yeah, DB's been all over Texas in that one. And, if he thinks Texas is going to win, then he must really like him because he hates Texas. So he's been,
right, I got you.
He's been feeling that one for sure. How are you? So there was one that I thought was really interesting. This might be a little off the radar for you, but I know you're always well prepared. I thought the number for Iowa State against South Dakota was really interesting at 15.5.
I would need to. Well, look, that's a long trip back across the pond. So
South Dakota's good. I mean,
that's a good FCS team. I would need to do more FCS research on the other team to have an opinion. I won with Iowa State last week. I'm gonna take the week off on the Cyclones.
give them the break.
They gave me some good work last week.
I do have a question. I don't know if this one's on your radar at all. I know you're down in Florida, big Gators guy, so I want to ask about the Gators and LIU. But Notre Dame is going down to Hard Rock Stadium to play Miami, and they're favored. The Fighting Irish are favored by 2.5. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I'm probably gonna pick Notre Dame in my contest because I like their roster a lot better. I think they have a huge head coaching advantage. But the reason why I'm not betting on it is because I haven't seen Notre Dame's quarterback play. And when I haven't seen a quarterback play enough, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen little highlights of Ty Simpson, but I mean, I haven't seen CJ Carr at all. And I'm not like going to go watch some Twitter clips and think I've got an expert read on him, So
gonna do it for you.
I think Marcus Freeman's the better coach and Notre Dame's got the better roster. So in my contest, I'm going to pick Notre Dame, but I'm not gambling on that game.
So we've got a top 10 matchup where we have actually seen a bunch of the quarterbacks. That's Clemson and LSU with Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier. In that one, Clemson is a 4.5-point favorite. It's in Death Valley. I know a lot of people are high on LSU this year. I'm not totally sure I'm buying it. Where are you at with that one?
So it's down to 3.5 now, unless where are you seeing 4.5 in a specific book?
Yeah, I've got it at ESPN, which I believe uses
ESPN Bet.
ESPN Bet. So it's that's all internal. They've got it at 4.5.
Well, no, it was 4.5, but it's been back down to 3.5 for a day or so. And if it was 3, I would lean Clemson. And look, anything above 3, I almost want to go the other way, but I have week 1 issues with LSU. Sure. I lost on them at UCLA back-to-back years to FSU, and then I did not take them, fortunately, against USC last year. I was out in Vegas. I was kind of cussing myself most of the game, and then USC rallies and covers. So I was like, oh, good, because I didn't bet on LSU. So I'm not – that's another pass for me.
How do you I mean, if they lose another opener, like they're in a lot of trouble, right? Like Brian Kelly's in a lot of trouble.
Well, no, I think whoever loses this game, I think is fine. But if LSU loses this game, they better not get beat by Florida and Red Stick in week 3. Then he's in a lot of trouble.
There we go. So your best bets of the week, Buffalo and Toledo. Then we got a couple props with the over on Ryan Williams.
Yeah, I added South Carolina buying the 0.5 point to 7. Now, if your number's 8, don't do it. Now, if you have a money line parlay or a teaser working, I think South Carolina should be your last leg because then a potential hedge opens up because that's Sunday at 3 Eastern. But yeah, so some season win totals: Vandy over, Florida over, Kentucky under. If you want a long shot, Heisman, Haynes King. Georgia Tech over 7.5, Clemson plus 120 to win the ACC, Buffalo plus 550 to win the MAC. I think that's most everything.
You forgot Nebraska over the 7.5. Let's go.
A pass.
Oh, what a hater.
Respectfully.
No hater. Respectfully. Respectful pass.
Well, you got a whole bunch of info there. Get there to your season-long sports bets in. We appreciate it, and enjoy a full weekend of college football, my guy.
Well, the wait is over, fellas. Y'all have a great weekend.
Finally. You too, bud. That is Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider from Major Wager. Good stuff there from Brian, as always. Don't forget, if you got a place you need to watch the game tonight, you can come out here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Come hang out. Best place to watch games. They've got great TV set up either at Gretna or here in La Vista. Come check out Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We'll be back with Michael Bruntz coming up next.
Yeah, we always want to be leading the charge when it comes to moving the sport along and making sure volleyball, puts up big numbers, and it's something that these networks, are fighting over to get to air these matches. So again, our team embraces that, and more importantly, not the team, the university does, and the athletic department. And what was the second part of your question?
How does it prepare you for later on?
Oh yeah, it's huge. I thought playing at PBA was massive for preparation, because if we're not here for the regional, and now we have the crowd behind us, but we've been there where there's a light show and there's, a huge crowd and big moments where every play, you're feeling pressure. So this weekend was really, really important, I'd say, for later on. And then this coming weekend will be more of a neutral crowd. So could be a little more like a Final Four crowd. So we'll have our fans that travel for sure, but the majority of the fans are likely just going to be the casual volleyball fan.
I like playing power 4, power 5. I guess power 5 then, now power 4 maybe. I like playing a power 4 team to start. I think it makes your camp much more intentional. It gets everyone's attention early. I felt like that Minnesota game. I felt like we should have won it. We had it won. That being said, we weren't as far along, and I think I commented many times. I didn't have us as ready for the crowd noise and all the things that the gold out at Minnesota would have. I sometimes say things like that, and I could probably put a caveat there, but it sounds weak. Like we were working on a lot of other things. We weren't probably ready for all that. We were just trying to learn some basic things at the time. But I feel like I have gotten to my part. I've gotten the team ready in terms of situationally. We should be prepared for everything. And I think to their part, they are focused and paid a lot of attention to detail. Like we walked in this morning, Wish and I walked in this morning, and Isaiah Mosey's sitting in the recovery tubs, and now he's just sitting there. He's got his game book out. Like a lot of times you see guys looking at their phone or iPad. Like, he's got his game book out, and he's like taking notes. I was like, all right, that's what our freshmen look like. That means that every room that the seniors are doing a good job, or in that case, in that room, Emmett. So. Yes, I feel confident that we'll play. And at the same time, also knowing the first game, you don't know what to expect. Like Cincinnati could come out, and it could be all 4 down. It could be all cover 0. It could be all, they could come out. They could have gone to high tempo. They could have, you don't know. So you have to have smart coaches and coordinators and players who can adjust on the fly, and I think we're prepared for that.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just fired up for him and his family. Just another guy, like just a really tough blue-collar, hardworking guy. He was a walk-on here, safety who coach had moved to linebacker when we had got here, and just was a special teams player, had a role in that before we got here, and then just kind of, again, worked his butt off, did everything we asked. Just tough, hardworking. He's competitive. He did everything he could to get on the field and improve. I'm so fired up for him, and as you know, it's a brutal league. So just taking it day by day. I talked to him yesterday. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process of it. Work your butt off. Embrace it. Just have fun while you do it.
Kicking off hour number 3 here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Rico. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Michael Bruntz of Husker 24/7. Bruntz, how we doing?
Not bad. What's up?
Oh, not too much. Where are you? Are you at home? Are you not going to Kansas City?
It's 2 hours away. I don't have to leave for a while.
Bruntz, you should be down there right now, posted up at the stadium, just waiting for everybody to arrive.
No, I still can be, because it's only 9 o'clock here, and this game is 2.5 hours away. So
how are you going to get your barbecue on?
There's still time. There's plenty of time, guys. I could leave once I hang up with you guys. I could hop in the car and be in Kansas City by lunch. That's the glory of this game that I think we've all forgotten in the Big Ten era, is that you used to be able to do this, or you would go cover a game in Lawrence and you'd be able to sleep in your own bed that night. Like that's how back in my day things used to be.
Bruntz yearning for the days of Ames and Lawrence and Manhattan road trips.
Oh, does he miss the Big 12?
Yeah. The worst thing about that Manhattan trip, until they finally put in an overpass, was you used to get stuck by trains and is it Maysville, Hayesville, Kansas? Like right over the border. You used to always get stuck by these, like the freight trains would come through there. And you'd be making great time, which is the most important thing ever. And then you'd get stuck by the train. So, but they fixed that, and now we just have to make road trips to Purdue, which is not as fun.
I always thought the worst part about the road trip to Manhattan was ending up in Manhattan.
Well, that's didn't need to be said. I didn't.
Don't disparage the Little Apple.
I will disparage the Little Apple. I went on a college visit there, not to K-State, mind you, but to Manhattan Christian College right across the street.
Of course you did.
Let me tell you, Not great. Didn't love the town.
Yeah, I used to cover baseball series back when they'd play the 3-gamers way back in the day. And I remember there was like a huge JUCO basketball tournament that was in town, and it was just like you couldn't get anywhere near that place in a hotel. It was the weirdest thing. Anyways, nobody wants to hear about Manhattan, Kansas hotels. What are you guys talking about? Is there anything going on today?
No, it's been a pretty slow day.
Yeah, we've just kind of been hanging out.
Nothing going on. I went to as a Miller North guy, you'd appreciate that. Went to the Eric Crouch street unveiling yesterday.
Yeah. So where is it? Where's the street?
So it's right outside the baseball field. So it's a section of 144th. So you know where the light is, right where you turn into the baseball field?
Yes.
Basically from there to Pacific Street is Eric Crouch. So
if you get to the Rusty Nail, you've gone too far.
100%. But if you've if you get to the Rusty Nail, you've gone just far enough. One of my, I literally, we'll talk about football here in just a second. One of my
got to get the Miller North talking.
Well, no, this is a Rusty Nail talk.
Oh, okay.
When I moved into my apartment after I finally got the hell out of Ashland, great town, just not for me. It probably had to do with the company more than the town. But when I moved into my apartment, I literally picked the apartments behind the Rusty Nail because I was like, I can walk to the bar.
Well, now they got like a Dunkin' Donuts in that corner. That used to be like there was a Quick Pick, isn't that what it was called?
So it was a little bit further down. There was a gas station that's now a mortuary, which is odd.
That's
and then the Dunkin' Donuts is on the corner there too. It was a nice little apartment complex to live in.
Nice.
It had
everything you needed right there.
Yeah, and if things went poorly at the bar, the mortuary right down the road. So
life and death.
Go.
It's already halfway there.
All right, Brunsons, we finally are here on game day. What, if anything, are you feeling about this Nebraska team that might be different than how we felt leading up to this point? Like, are you finally on game day and you're like, man, I don't know if I'm right about this. Like, where's your head at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's changed. I mean, I think we're at the point now where it's kind of like, is everything that we've thought and seen and heard going to actually play out on the field? Like that's basically what kind of the opener is. I'm sure that for the coaching staff, it's kind of the same way, right? Like they've seen practice after practice after practice. And when the lights really come on for the first time, are guys going to be focused? Is there going to be pre-snap issues because guys aren't dialed in? I mean, I think it's, the first game, there's probably a lot of nerves over there just because there's so many unknowns. You think you know what you have. At the same time, you're also having to look across the sidelines and wonder if Cincinnati is going to do generally what they've done in the past. And so I think that's just kind of where I'm at, is like, okay, like let's see what this actually looks like. In some ways I was thinking about this way. Yes, this is year 3 for Matt Rhule, but it feels like there's a little bit of like intrigue about how this is all going to come together, similar to kind of when we went to Dublin, like when you had new coordinator, kind of new personnel. Like I think that's part of the portal era that's always interesting too, is like you've got all this new cast of characters, like you're seeing them for the first time in a game. Like how's this all going to look? So I don't know that anything's necessarily changed. It's just been like, okay, let's get this thing going, I guess.
Hopefully it's not as ominous as the Dublin comparison might make it seem to be.
Went great for like 2.5 quarters, right?
I do understand the intrigue though, right? Because yes, there was Dana Holgorsen for 4 games, but what does that look like after a full off season? Like obviously you've got, almost an entirely new defensive staff. Basically at this point, Dvorak's really the only guy in the same spot as he was last year. And then you've got all the transfers on top of that. So I definitely understand being a little hesitant, may or may not be the right word, but just kind of wait and see on a lot of that. I do wonder, we were talking a lot about Nebraska's defensive line versus Cincinnati's offensive line earlier in the show. But Rico brought up a good point during the break. We haven't really talked that much about Nebraska's offense against Cincinnati's defense. Obviously, everybody knows about Dante Corleone, top 10 name in college football probably. But, as you look at this, how much have you thought about sort of the reverse of that, how you think Nebraska's offense will do against Cincinnati's defense?
Yeah, I think right out of the gates, this is going to be a pretty good test for that offensive line that, I think there's a lot of confidence about over there, and I think there should be. Cincinnati's got a pretty good front seven, I think, for the most part. Obviously, the Godfather in the middle, it's going to be lowest man wins for 60 minutes with Justin Evans. A couple of two strong dudes just going at it. But, yeah, I think that's the ease with which Nebraska is able to run the ball in this game, I think, is probably a pretty big factor in what will ultimately be the outcome, because I think Nebraska is going to be able to throw the ball. I think if they're able to run the ball as well, I think that's going to be a pretty good recipe on offense. So I'm watching that piece of it quite a bit. And also, we've been told Emmett Johnson looks significantly different. We haven't seen the guys behind him. I think the Nebraska running game is probably going to be under the microscope quite a bit tonight to see whether they can make things happen and move the ball and kind of stay on schedule. If you're able to stay in second and short, third and short, I have a reasonable amount of confidence that Dana Holgorsen is going to be able to also find some big plays in there too. So, running the ball is always imperative, but I think in this one against a decent Cincinnati front seven, I think they're going to have to be able to do that early on.
Now, I was listening and there was a clip where Dana Holgorsen mentioned how, he got kicked out of the air raid club and they're going to run the damn ball. And you kind of answered it, but I was going to ask, how quickly would Nebraska abandon the run if that front seven for Cincinnati was shutting them down? They have a whole bunch of weapons in the wide receiver room and your tight ends are doing things as well. But if Nebraska is truly trying to run the ball, if they can't get any traction on the ground, how quickly do you think they'd be able to give that up or willing to give that up?
Yeah, I guess you gotta do what you do and how you can move the ball. I think probably the X factor and all that is what involvement the running backs are going to have in the passing game. You go back to the end of last year, and Emmett Johnson was a huge piece of what they were doing in the passing game with a lot of success. And I don't foresee that changing this year after a full offseason. Just looking at the strengths of Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mosey, and Emmett Johnson, that's going to be in there. So do they abandon the run? Maybe not. But, I think they've got other tricks to kind of loosen things up a little bit if they're not able to move the ball on the ground early on. But, I go back to the spring, and Dana Holgorsen was talking about the work that they were doing with the interior run game. I think Nebraska's interior offensive line is very good. I like that move of Justin Evans to center. Rocco Spindler, you didn't bring him in here to just not run behind him. And I think that's a big piece of it. And Henry Lutovsky looks as good as he's ever looked during his Husker career. So I don't think they're going to be quick to pull the eject button or eject cord,
something
lever,
ejectocito.
Yeah. So I think they'll continue to do it, but I think they also will be able to sprinkle in some other things that'll keep Cincinnati honest as well.
So, Bruns, we've talked a lot about over the offseason about areas of improvement. And, I've talked a lot about defensive line. We're talking about offensive line. We're talking about running game. We've talked about, we kind of like the wide receiver room. We kind of like the tight ends, whatever, right? Have you allowed yourself to, I guess, explore what I consider to be probably the most likely possibility that Dylan is just a lot better this year?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the most likely possibility of all the things we've talked about. I would say in my opinion, the most likely thing that's going to happen is Dylan just looks like we think he could.
It's, do you think Nebraska fans are unwilling to accept that?
It seems like it hasn't been talked about very much.
It hasn't. I think there's probably a lot of like scar tissue baked into that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like Adrian Martinez freshman year to sophomore year, like Nebraska was pretty much ranked based on whatever that was going to look like.
Yeah.
In a sophomore season. I think that you have to probably entertain the fact that Dylan Raiola is a significantly better quarterback than he was last year. The thing that I'll be curious to see tonight is whether or not he's going to make 3-4 throws that he didn't make last year on deep balls, on fitting things into tight windows. And I think that's the next step. But I mean, his command of the offense, I think, is in a really good spot. I think a full off season with Dana Holgorsen is huge. And I think just Dana kind of hammering home the efficiency thing, like take the checkdowns, keep things moving. Like you hear things over and over and over again for almost 9 months now since the last season ended. You have to believe that there's, a lot of progress that's been made there. So yeah, I mean, I think when things kind of happen tonight, I think you probably need to at least be okay with the thought that maybe Nebraska's quarterback has grown and improved from what he was last year. Because I think he's got the skill set. I think he's got the mentality where there's going to be a couple games this year where Dylan Raiola is just going to have to win the game for Nebraska, right? Like we could talk about running backs, tight ends, everything else, but if you've got a guy at quarterback that can get it done, I mean that's huge. So I think that's an okay thought going into tonight's game that perhaps just maybe he's better this year.
In that kind of same vein, when you talk about Dylan Raiola, and let's allow ourselves to go there for a second. Let's say he is, I'm not even talking about like all conference necessarily, just significantly better as a sophomore than he was as a freshman, with one of the best play callers in college football. And let's sprinkle in there just for funsies that special teams isn't catastrophic. What does that mean to you? Like, what does that look like in your head if just those things are different from last year?
Dylan and special teams?
Dylan is significantly better and special teams are not a disaster. What does that look like?
Well, I mean, not a disaster on special teams was probably a win or two this year.
Yeah, right.
I think that's fair. I mean, special teams not being a disaster means you're closer to actually winning the field position game, which is something that Nebraska has lost with regularity for the last decade. You're able to capitalize on drives. You don't have to be nearly quite so fine to score points if you can count on your field goal kicker being able to make a 44-yard field goal. No, I mean, I just taking the Dylan piece out of it, if you're even or good on special teams, and good is probably like where they were starting from last year. I mean, if you're a 60th in the country this year, that's going to already look significantly different. But I mean, there's so many areas of the game that are touched by special teams in a significant way that if you at least are trending in getting that piece of it kind of answered, that's going to be huge for Nebraska, because there's going to be a lot of coin flip games this year. There's going to be a lot of one-score games this year, and it's just like dragging a boat anchor around trying to win those types of games when you're just getting your head bludgeoned on special teams. So, I mean, that part of it getting correct, or at least close to correct, I mean, that would be huge for this team in 2025.
Now, I asked Damon this question and kind of spoke with Ravi about it earlier in the show. When you look at the defensive line for Nebraska, they're leaner. They're not as I mean, they're very big human beings, but you don't have Ty Robinson, who was massive. You don't have Nash Hutmaker, who was a polar bear, as his nickname suggested. Your defensive line is leaner. They seem more explosive and faster. Is that going to mean, and I know against Cincinnati and Brendan Sorsby and his ability to, break the pocket and run use his legs, it's going to be a little tougher, but with a more explosive defensive line, how much pressure do you think they'll get on Sorsby and quarterbacks in the future in terms of getting sacks?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got the potential to do it. I think when you kind of look at like breakdown of sack numbers at the end of the year, I'm sure it's probably going to be a little bit more spaced out, not so focused on a couple guys. I think John Butler is going to be aggressive with blitzing, which I think helps those guys up front. I think in the right scenarios and situations, you're probably going to see multiple jack linebackers out there, which, I mean, I don't know if you lump them in with the defensive line, but I think there's enough versatility there with McCullough and Ochoa and McGahee to put a couple of those guys out there together. So I think they'll have the ability to do it. We'll see if they can do it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's I think John Butler's aggressiveness and his ability to scheme things up and willingness to be a little bit more aggressive, I think will benefit that front seven quite a bit. Like, I'm eager to see what Keona Davis in year 2 looks like. I think you're gonna. I think you're going to see a mixing and matching of personnel at a level that is going to be a little bit different than maybe what Nebraska's done the last 2 years to try to create those advantages when they're kind of leveraged in 3rd and long and things like that. So that's what I'm expecting. We'll see if that holds true. But I mean, even go back to the bowl game, it seemed like they were more aggressive with the linebackers and bringing pressure. I know Ty and Nash were part of that, but I do think they're going to not be shy about bringing more pressure to force the issue.
Runts, if we put the over-under at 3.5 sacks, first of all, do you think that's the right number in terms of getting equal action on either side? Do you think that's about right as far as what the line should be?
Yeah, probably. Mobile quarterback.
New offensive line.
Yeah, that's fair. 3.5. Where am I going with it?
Where do you think you'd lean?
I'll go over. I would say 4 is what I was thinking. So I'll go slightly over.
With that in mind,
told you it was a good number.
Let's say they go over. How do you feel like this game went for Nebraska?
I don't know that tells the story. Like, okay. I don't know that I would know enough based off the sack. 4 sacks. I don't know. That means you're probably getting some pressure, but I mean, are you also, because I think the one concern I have in this game is you mentioned his ability to break the pocket and get out and run. And I think what's always a little bit scary in week 1 is how you're going to tackle. And when you've got a quarterback that can run, a quarterback that makes pretty good decisions, you got to get guys the ball. You got to get them on the ground when you can. And it's almost kind of the exception more so than the rule that teams tackle well in week 1. So I don't know that necessarily tells me the full picture. I mean, I think 4 sacks would be great. Like you would take that and feel pretty good about it. But I mean, I think Nebraska needs to be careful on defense of, on 3rd and 6, allowing Sorsby to get out and run for 7 yards, or to allow him to get to the second level. Somebody whiffs on a tackle and then he's out in space and you're chasing. Like, I think those are the scenarios that I think Nebraska needs to be really careful to avoid tonight.
Is there a statistical category that you think you could look at and feel like you know how the game went?
Turnovers. I mean, I think if Nebraska wins the turnover battle, I think I'd feel pretty good about what their chances are. I mean, I don't know that Sorsby makes a lot of bad decisions. I mean, he's a veteran quarterback. I think offensively for Nebraska, that plays into the efficiency thing too. So I think that would tell me a lot tonight. And first, I mean, you guys saw week 0. There was some really bad football being played there too. So if you can protect the ball, play efficiently, and get a couple takeaways, I mean, that to me tells a lot.
All right, Bruns, I don't think I've asked you this yet. Do you have a season win total for us?
8-4. They win 9 in the bowl game.
8-4, 9 in the bowl game. There we go. Any other feelings, thoughts, predictions for tonight?
No, you guys got is Taylor Swift going to be there tonight?
That's what I'm going to ask you. I was going to say if you get a chance, you're going to get a picture with Taylor.
No, I don't. Is she going to be there? Like, is that a thing?
Well, Travis and his brother are doing their podcast down there, and I know the Bussin' Boys are doing their thing down there. I assume that she'll be down there since they just got engaged. So she's got to support her fiance's college, right?
I just Googled. She's not on tour right now, so I would guess.
So she'll be there.
I would guess she'll be there.
So you had to Google that? It's not all over your social media?
You didn't know that?
Like, I feel like you'd be just inundated if she was out there somewhere.
I did not know if she was on tour or not.
When do we get our first Dylan Raiola Patrick Mahomes comparison?
What is pregame?
Pregame?
Yeah, like the game will not have even kicked off yet. You'll get. Here's what will happen. They'll come to the game, and in the open they're going to show Dylan warming up, and he warms up very similarly to Patrick Mahomes. You're going to get that image. You're going to get a Mahomes mention. He's probably going to be there, right? Like he's going to be in the building somewhere. Yeah. I'm guessing. So you might get like a far away shot of Mahomes somewhere in the stadium. It'll be within the first 2.5 minutes of the broadcast.
I said that first scramble sidearm throw, you're going to have the still of that and then a still of Patrick. And they're going to be like, I mean, that's the same guy.
Yeah. I think Mark Jones is on the call tonight too. So you're going to get it. It's coming. It'll be there.
That is our guy, Michael Bruntz. You think they get the W tonight?
I believe they do.
All
I
right.
believe they do. And I am willing to say that I believe they cover as well. So
we got the -6.5 on Nebraska tonight.
Numbies.
Huh? Yeah. So
for
against
entertainment only.
Yeah. We'll see.
That's our guy, Michael Bruntz, Husker 24/7. Bruntz, we appreciate the time as always. You better get to KC, man.
You're gonna be late.
Time.
I still got time. It's only 9:30.
What's the Michael Bruntz barbecue spot?
I don't. Where should I go?
Oh, I don't know. That's a DB question. You got to call him.
Is he at the stadium already? Like, is he sitting at the stadium?
He was in his hotel room about an hour ago when we were talking to him, but the first bus goes over at 12:45.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm going to try not to be on
that.
I worry about him being at the stadium 8 hours before the game.
I don't think he's going to eat today because he doesn't like to eat while he's working, and he didn't eat last night. Like, I don't think
he said he had a breakfast sandwich that he didn't touch.
They just stared at it. So I don't. He may not eat for like 48 hours.
Oh, jeez.
Might be. So just check on him for me when you get down.
Yeah, I might have to get over there early and make sure he's okay.
Give me a wellness check on the boy. Okay.
Take care of DB.
All right, Bruntz. Good luck. And I'm just saying, you might be underestimating the traffic a little bit. You better get on the road.
Okay. Well, I'm coming from Lincoln. I'm not. I don't have that.
Yeah, you got that. Never mind. You don't even have that Omaha traffic to worry about.
Yep.
Everybody in Lincoln's gone too, so it's the entire state of Nebraska is currly in.
And apparently, just as a PSA to your listeners, if they're going, you got to get your parking pass ahead of time. You can't like pay money at the gate. So don't do that.
We read Keith Mann's email to him.
Yeah,
so we got him covered.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Bruntz. Have fun. Oh, just getting.
He's like, I'm out. We're gone.
Was that him or Shane?
He left. He left. No, Shane didn't take him out. He just left.
He's like, I'm tired.
He's like, I'm tired of talking to you guys.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
He's got to go get barbecue.
We've got
he's got to get down there.
We've got to take a quick break here, and we got to check in with somebody that is already down there.
Boots on the ground.
Our boots on the ground report from intrepid producer. Producing on the road this morning, Austin Jacobsen. We're going to see how things are going.
Austin, he's the girl in his relationship, Jacobsen.
I gotta ask him if he knows DB said that, or if DB said that in the car.
Just outed him.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough out here, right?
It's all right. Dr. Girlfriend coming in hot.
We're out here, right? That's Rico. I'm Ravi. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
I would say they don't, if that kind of makes sense. I feel like the whole day, of course, was so slow and everything was taking forever. And it was like, can this game just like kind of speed up and like start? I would say the first 5 points definitely was kind of like, whoa, where am I? What am I doing? Like, this is like, and then of course my teammates had to tell me like, we're just playing volleyball. Like, it's just a big game in a big arena with a lot of people. And so I think it was a good and a bad thing, but I think it started settling in after like the first 10 points.
Did anything prepare you for that, or what can prepare you for an experience like that?
I definitely had to get right with myself and with my teammates. I feel like learning to embrace the nerves is a good thing. I feel like you can shy away from it. You can try to avoid it all you want, but like I'm human. I'm young. I don't get to experience a lot of these things like so young, and so just being able to like, listen to worship, kind of calm myself down. I mean, be with my teammates. I mean, me and Lainey had a lot of talks before the game of just like, we're just playing volleyball. It's just a volleyball game. We do this every day at practice. Been doing this since I was 9. Like, I know what I'm doing, and just like, it's just in a bigger stage.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Rico. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. And just a reminder, as Brunts was saying, if you're headed down there, make sure you get your parking pass and everything purchased beforehand. It's GHA Field at Arrowhead.com. GHA Field at Arrowhead.com/parking. You can buy your parking pass, then make sure you get it loaded up onto either mychiefsaccount.com or the Chiefs mobile app. And think about adding those to your mobile wallet as well to make things a little bit quicker and easier on that. But let's talk to somebody that's already down there. Our guy, a little bit more proactive than Brunts, Austin Jacobsen, producing from the road. What was that, Austin? What was that noise?
That's mobile producing for you. That's what that is. It's also GEHA. It's pronounced Geehaw if you're a local. I know you don't want to get that, Ravi, since you're such an Omaha boy, but to each their own, I suppose.
Sorry, Geehaw. It's my bad.
Something yeehaw.
Something
yeehaw with a G.
Something yeehaw. You know, we're getting Western out here. I'm in the Hurrdat Sports mobile live studio here in Spring Hill, Kansas. Beautiful Spring Hill, America. Where else would you rather be?
I see you have Taylor Swift's fiance behind you.
That is true. This is my guy, Trav. These are our Beer Olympics trophies here from the Glock residence. We're having a good time. We got Lopers on the wall over here. Big game against Wayne State. I know it's the game of the week. Everyone's talking about it. Can the Lopers take down the Cats? It's huge. It's huge.
Throw your lips.
Okay, so since he already made a Western Nebraska reference, we're going to put him in timeout.
Do I have to take him off?
No. What? No.
Think about what you've done,
gotta
and we're going to come back to you for keys of the game.
Cut your hair, Rico.
After
Don't or do?
No, cut it now. If you're cutting me out, you cut your hair.
No,
I'm not going to do that, but I am going to cut you off because Ravi is in charge. Sorry.
Put him in timeout because we're not doing Western Nebraska references this early in the show. Can't do it.
First off, Kearney's Central Nebraska.
Excuse me. We're not doing Central Nebraska. We're not doing D2 football references this early in the show.
I will accept that.
No D2 football
early
today.
in the show. It's 9:30.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm sorry. It's not a D2 football day today.
Okay.
It's not a D2 football day today.
Whatever.
I love D2 football. I love small school sports. I played small school sports. I coach small school sports. Love small school sports.
It's a D1 football day.
Today is for the Division I football program in this state.
Division I.
It's Division I football.
D3.
Go play intramurals, brother.
Get some.
All right. Let's see if Austin's learned his lesson here. Let's bring him back in. Austin.
Okay. That's insane.
What do we got going on here?
I can't believe you're cutting me off because of D2 football.
It's
D2
honestly
football is the heart of America, and it's football season. You only get so many of these in your lifetime.
Pull
It's
him
like
out again.
Texas and football. This is
Pull him
where
out
we
again.
want.
Pull him out again. Listen, he's got to learn. He's got to learn his lesson. Let's start doing keys to the game here.
Okay.
We'll start with ours since Austin clearly cannot. He's going to start giving like UNK keys to the game, which I'm not here for. We love our
hey, Ryan Held coached at Nebraska.
We love our guy Ryan Held, but that's today's not for him.
Okay.
Today's not for him. Ryan Held will have his day at some point.
Ravi's yelling at me.
We love ESPN Tri-Cities, which used to be one of our affiliates. Good guys out there, but it's not. Today's not for them.
Shout out to the Tri-Cities.
Today's for Lincoln. Today's for Nebraska. Today's for Division I.
Today
All right,
is the day.
let's get to some keys to the game here.
Okay.
Number one. What's your number one key to the game, Rico?
What Brunt said. Win the turnover battle. Win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
Don't throw unnecessary throws into double, triple coverage. Don't. Hopefully, your wide receivers have stronger hands than they did last year, and they're not going to get the balls ripped out of their hands in the end zone for interceptions instead of touchdowns.
I would hope that as well.
High and tight, hold on to the ball. X factor
X
going across the goal line. Make sure that you do not give Cincinnati extra possessions.
Win the turnover battle.
Win the turnover battle. That is number one. That's number one every game.
That's totally fair. Number one for me. Because I don't want to copy. We're just gonna do different lists as much as we can.
Makes sense.
Brunt's brought this up as well. Tackling. This is a team that wants to run the football a lot. Brennan Sorsby, super physical. They've got Walker, the transfer running back from Wisconsin. Nebraska's a little familiar with him. Ran for like 860 yards last year at Wisconsin. That's a good back. It's a good mobile quarterback. Got to tackle well. Week one, I know it's tough. They've only had, 8 or 9 practices where they've been allowed to tackle throughout the fall. Got to tackle well in week one. That's, I think, is going to make a huge difference in their ability to get off the field on third down. What was one of the things that we had a problem with Tony White's defenses, right? For as much as we love Tony White, for as good as the defenses were, really had trouble getting off the field on third down.
I feel like that's not just Tony White. That's just been a thing for Nebraska for years.
But it was more, I thought it was more glaring when the defense everywhere else was pretty good. And that was kind of the one spot where they really struggled, where you're just like, wish they got after the passer a little bit more. Wish they got off the field on third down a little bit more.
You're like, if it's third and double digits, I feel decent. But if it's 3rd and 8, even then, you're
like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, I was like, I don't feel awesome here. All right, let's check back in with Austin. Let's see if he's ready to. Let's see if he's ready to give keys to the game about Nebraska. Oh my gosh!
So legitimately, Donovan Jones is going to be a huge factor in this because defensive back tackling is going to be the biggest key. If you can't figure that out, you got to lock in. You got to stay straight, and we got to keep it focused today. It's the biggest game of the year because it's week one, and it's our first game. If we can't get this one, you can't get the next. There is no tomorrow.
He's getting crazy.
He's getting a little too.
He's getting a little crazy. I gotta take him out.
We can't even see him. It might be a little early. He's drinking a lot at 9:30 in the morning.
It's a game day, dude.
That's true. There is no time on game day.
It's a game day, baby.
It's always 5 o'clock on game day.
Exactly.
Key to your game number 2.
Key to the game number 2. I don't know what key to the game number 2. It's keeping the white jersey number 15 clean.
Okay.
Keep the jersey clean. It's natural grass. It's gonna stain. Don't let it stain. Don't let the people who have to take care of the jerseys and wash them, make sure they don't have to wash that one for the offensive line. Keep Dylan on his feet. Give him time to dissect this Cincinnati defense that, again, we haven't really talked all that much about. So you can have all of your weapons at wide receiver and tight end, make some big plays, and obviously open up holes for the running backs. But if you can keep 15 clean, I think you're going to have yourself a really good game.
My number 2 is be functional in special teams.
There it is.
Just be functional, right? I'm not looking for spectacular yet. I'm talking baby steps, right? I'm not expecting a top 25 unit year one under Mike Eckler. I would like a top 60 unit. That's basically midway point in the country.
Okay.
Right? Top 60, top 65 unit. Nebraska was in, depending on what category in special teams, anywhere from like 95 to 120 last year in basically every special teams category. That's very bad.
That's
Get to like 50 to 60. Get to like 50 to 60 in your special teams categories this year. That, to me, starts today. No special teams turnovers. Like execute the simple things in special teams. Get the snaps back there. Get the kicks off. Be kicking in the right direction. Cover well. Right? That's all I want. Right? Like that's all I want from special teams. I'm not asking
It
for
doesn't seem like a big ask.
It's not a big ask. That's the thing, though, right? It feels like a big ask to Nebraska because we haven't had it. In general, it's not a big ask. It is a really reasonable thing to ask for them to do. Let's go back to our guy Austin here. See if he has another key to the game.
Boots
Austin,
on the ground journalism.
You seem to have you calmed down a little bit. What's key number 2?
My key for this is just mental fortitude, because things are going to be bad. For me, mentally in the stadium, I'm going to be looking around. I'm going to be checking out, making sure that everyone's going to be in the right spot. There's going to be a dog running in this screen here in just a second. Everyone be careful. But here's the thing we got to be careful of, is that when things go bad, you got to stay focused and locked in. The team, the players, the fans. I've been very critical of Nebraska football fans leading into this offseason. I'm ready to beat the narrative. Let's all join in the same team as we talk everything over. But we all got to be locked in. We don't need Hoagie running around. If you get distracted, you stay locked in. You don't worry about the distractions. You focus on what you can control. That's what we are doing today. And that's why Kansas City is going to be Lincoln South tonight. That's what we want.
That's the type of focus Nebraska needs tonight.
Austin Jacobsen locked in.
Hey,
well,
hold on. Give me 30 seconds right here. Okay.
Here's
the biggest thing we all need to remember. Regardless of what your belief is in Matt Rhule for year 3 and Dylan Raiola year 2 and Ball Dana Holgerson, anything, we only get 12 of these guaranteed every single year. 12 Husker games. Celebrate accordingly. Hold your loved ones close, and let's freaking party. Let's have a great time. Let's all combine and unite as a state, panhandle, eastern, city, metro, rural, roundabouts, and dirt roads everywhere. Let's get locked in. Let's be one Nebraska. And for 12 more games, this is a guarantee in life that you'll get 12 of these every single year except COVID. We can keep this up. We got to keep it moving. We can do it together. 10-2.
10-2.
Wow.
10-2.
10-2.
Let's go.
Wow. I don't want to ruin all of the hype that just happened, but I do have to ask Austin one question.
What's that?
Are you the girl in your relationship?
Yes.
DB hit us with that right off the bat.
DB got mad at me because I brought Twisted Teas down with us, and he was like, "Oh, what a girly drink." Sorry, I'm watching my calories. This figure, I gotta stay in shape for a doctor, man. Like, what do you want? I gotta be eye candy 100% of the time. What are we talking about?
There you go.
Austin living his best trophy husband life. We will talk to you later, buddy.
All right, DBR.
Coming up next, we've got our guy. If he still wants to come on the show,
I gotta clip that hype speech for Austin. That was good.
Clip the hype speech and clip the dog knocking over the tears.
Just come in and ruin it all.
We've got Chad Brendel, owner of BearcatJournal.com, to get the finishing touches on our preview of Nebraska Cincinnati as we wrap up the show here today. That's Rico. I'm Ravi. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, we always want to be leading the charge when it comes to moving the sport along and making sure volleyball, puts up big numbers, and it's something that these networks, are fighting over to get to air these matches. So again, our team embraces that, and more importantly, not the team, the university does, in the athletic department. And what was the second part of your question?
How does it prepare you for later on?
Oh yeah, it's huge. I thought playing at PBA was massive for preparation, because if we're not here for the regional, and now we have the crowd behind us, but we've been there where there's a light show and there's a huge crowd and big moments where every play you're feeling pressure. So this weekend was really, really important, I'd say, for later on. And then this coming weekend will be more of a neutral crowd, so could be a little more like a Final Four crowd. So we'll have our fans that travel for sure, but the majority of the fans are likely just going to be the casual volleyball fan.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Interesting game, being a neutral site at Arrowhead Stadium. Obviously, going to be a great atmosphere, and also a really good team. And that's the thing that I think anytime you're opening up the season with a team like Nebraska, a team on the verge of being a top 25 team, you got to bring your best game.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live to wrap up the show. That's Rico. I'm Ravi, and we are joined now by Chad Brendel. He is the owner of BearcatJournal.com to get one final preview and look at Cincinnati before the game tonight. Chad, how are you this morning?
Doing good. Heading in to do. I got noon to 3 today on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530. So headed that way.
Oh, there you go. You got the same gig we got, just middays today, huh?
Exactly.
How are you feeling about just general, I guess, vibes, thoughts, feelings around the program? Not just about the Nebraska game specifically, but heading into the season, how are you feeling about Cincinnati right now?
I think they should be pretty good. What that equates to, it's really hard to tell in the Big 12 because there's probably 12 teams that are all fairly even. So record's going to come down to execution and, the cliche stuff. It tends to be a pretty important factor in this league, but I think they have a really good quarterback. I think they've got a strong running game. They should have good wide receivers. The defense, there's a few questions, but, you've got a potential all-conference guy in Dante Corleone, a potential all-conference guy in Jake Golday at linebacker. So the talent is there. And now we find out is, how does Scott Satterfield handle a pretty good Big 12 with a team that should be competitive?
So, Chad, you mentioned a couple guys on the defense side of the ball, and I'm glad you have, because just full disclosure, a lot of this show we've talked about Nebraska's defense against Brendan Sorsby and the Cincinnati offense. When you flip it around, you're looking at those potential all-conference guys. Corleone's going to be an NFL draft pick. And you look at what Nebraska has on the offensive side of the ball. They bring in Dana Holgorsen. You've got Dylan Raiola year 2. They bring in some new transfers at wide receiver. How do you see that part of the matchup shaking out?
And the question is going to be, I think, can they make Raiola uncomfortable? The Cincinnati fans are very familiar with Dana Holgorsen from his time at Houston. He wants his guys to get the ball out pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you're not generally going to, get a great pass rush. So with that in mind, they've got to be able to at least make him uncomfortable because he's going to take the snap. He's going to get the ball out, but you got to kind of get him off the spot. He can't sit back there and pick apart Tyson Vite's zone defense. If they don't do that, I think Raiola's got a chance to have a pretty good game. The question is going to be, what did Holgorsen say in his press conference this week? Corleone retired 3 guys in the first drive in Houston a couple years ago.
Yeah.
If he can be a problem, and that's the strength, that's the interesting thing. The strength of Nebraska's offensive line is in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And Corleone comes right at you up the gut. If they can hold him at bay, I think the Nebraska offense can have a pretty good game. If they can't, and he can get pushed up the middle of the field and make Raiola uncomfortable in that pocket, I think Cincinnati's got a chance defensively to at least make them uncomfortable. And I think that's the biggest key with the Dana Holgorsen offense. It's rhythm, it's timing, it's quick. You got to make them uncomfortable. Will Cincinnati be able to do that?
Chad, you mentioned that zone defense for Cincinnati. They ran very little man-to-man, if I remember correctly, last year. Dylan did pretty well, especially early in the season, against zone defenses. Do you think we might see Cincinnati try and change things up at all? Or you think, hey, this is what we do, we're going to try and do it well and try and affect Dylan in other ways?
That's going to be interesting. I do think they are – the system is very similar. Tyson Vite came from Iowa State and brought that 3-3-5 stack excuse me, brought that 3-3-5 stack with him. It's very similar. Now, the difference is it's not a defense that quarterbacks see a lot because it's got 3 safeties. So you've got an extra safety in the middle of the field. That makes it a little bit different for a quarterback's eyes because guys aren't where, a quarterback necessarily expects them to be in that zone defense. So I do think they're still going to play a lot of zone, but I think they're going to count on it being something that Raiola hasn't seen where, he's going to have to adjust his eyes a little bit and, anticipate guys being in places that maybe he doesn't expect them to be. He's been really, he was top 10 in completion percentage against zone defense last year. So that's going to definitely be something to keep an eye on.
Speaking of keeping it on Cincinnati's defense, aside from Corleone, who is going to be another guy on that Bearcat defense that Nebraska fans are just going to get upset at seeing, around the ball or making stops for the Bearcats?
Jake Golday is really the name to watch. He was on Bruce Feldman's freak list. He was a defensive end before he got to Cincinnati. They moved him to linebacker. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, runs 22 miles an hour, was all conference last year, and just kind of a specimen of a kid that really has a nose for the football. They've got him at outside linebacker. They're going to use him a little bit to get after the quarterback. And he's a guy that I think you're going to see a lot if they are going quick. The other thing, Holgorsen, I'm not telling you guys anything new. Holgorsen likes to throw to his backs. And I think you're going to see Golday in that mix quite a bit. If he makes plays and, you can hold those quick throws to 2-3 yards instead of 5 to 7 yards, then you get to find out how Cincinnati's defense can play, keeping Nebraska behind the sticks. But that's probably the other big name to watch as, he's going to be on draft boards. He's going to be a guy that is kind of the focal point of that defense in the middle of the field.
So when you look at the other side of the ball, Chad, for Cincinnati, you've got obviously Brendan Sorsby, you got Walker coming in from Wisconsin. I know you've got the transfer wide receivers as well, but I want to talk about the offensive line with a bunch of new starters up there. And what does that look like for you? What's your, if I'm sitting there and I go, hey, we're basically replacing the entire offensive line or most of it, that would probably be my number one concern, especially the way Satterfield kind of talked about him earlier and not really being the strength of the team. How do they be successful on the offensive line tonight?
I don't think it's a talent issue on the offensive line. I think it's a what do these guys look like in their first start together question. Tarantayo, a transfer from Ball State, 6'4", 320 pounds, just a nasty physical interior offensive lineman. He's next to Kevin Gerhardt, who's a 3-year captain, kind of the rock of the offense at center. And I think the biggest question for Cincinnati fans, everybody's very excited about Joe Cotton. He was the number 1 left tackle in the spring transfer portal. They beat out a bunch of big-name Power 5 programs to get him, but he's moving up from FCS. And he has not seen, this type of skill and athleticism at the point of attack. How does he hold up? How does Joe Cotton play in his first game? They think the inside the building, they feel he's an NFL left tackle. He's 6'7", he's 320 pounds, he moves well, he's got long arms, but can he hold up over 4 quarters against a talented but inexperienced Nebraska defensive line? I think Cincinnati's going to be fine on the interior. The tackle spot, especially left tackle with Cotton and how quickly he adjusts, I think is going to be the big question mark.
Chad, when you look at this game and you look at, the things that Cincinnati needs to do to be successful, is there a specific area of the game or statistical category that you're going to be able to look at and say, hey, if this goes Cincinnati's way, I like their chances?
I think it's the run game. Because I don't, looking at Nebraska's defensive line, there's talent there, but not a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps. And the bread and butter of Scott Satterfield's offense has always been running the football. They've got a big physical guy in Tawi Walker, the transfer from Wisconsin, like you said. And then they've got a home run hitter that transferred from Ohio State last year, Evan Pryor, that broke off a bunch of long touchdown runs last year. So if Cincinnati I can control that portion of the game and maybe keep that Nebraska offense off the field a little bit more, I think that bodes very well for this, going in Cincinnati's direction.
That is Chad Brendel, owner of Bearcat Journal. Chad, appreciate the time. As always, enjoy the game tonight, but selfishly, I hope you don't enjoy it too much. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
That's Chad Brendel from Bearcat Journal. Everything you need to know about Cincinnati. How you feeling?
The same, maybe a little not worse because it's not that bad, but a little more skeptical. Just based on him saying that Cincinnati wants to run the ball and kind of naming off some of the transfers they got. I forgot that they had a guy from Ohio State. And I know that it's just a school name, but you really think that, schools like that aren't just going to go out and get guys who aren't talented and maybe just wasn't going to see the field all that much. So he transferred to Cincinnati, staying in the state of Ohio. But it's a little bit, but still nothing that has me thinking, oh, Nebraska's not going to win this game.
You feel like you got a W?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, still a dub.
Covering the 6.5?
Yes. If I said 2 scores, is that too much?
I do not think it's too much.
Okay.
I do not think it's too much.
No disrespect to Cincinnati. I just think Nebraska, the work that they've put in, the not the hype from the outside, but the hype within the program, based, listening to people who know more than me and listening to the players talk, it just seems like they have prepared themselves extremely well for this first game, and all the juices are going to be flowing. And look, if their first offensive drive, if they take it down and score a touchdown, like on that first drive, it's going to be the gates have opened. The floodgates have opened.
I think Nebraska's good. I think Nebraska's legitimately good. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game reasonably comfortably. So I think 2 scores is in that neighborhood. This is a Nebraska W. This is a good Nebraska football team. Allow yourself, because, man, and we can end on this, but one of the things that I've had trouble with this offseason is the only thing people can really throw at me when I tell them I think this team is good is
the past.
History. Nothing to do with this team. That makes me feel better, actually. It's a little frustrating. I get it, though, right? There's the baggage. There's the scar tissue. I get it. But if the only thing that you can tell me negatively about Nebraska has nothing to do with this team, I'll take that. If it has to do with past teams and not this team, I'll take that.
Yeah, but remember Nebraska quarterbacks in year 2, they don't do too well. Or Nebraska's defenses have always been, suspect against running quarterbacks.
It has nothing to do with this team. Not a thing.
Okay.
Not a single thing to do with this team. Not one.
You're right.
Not one. This is a good football team.
Who gets a pick first, Deshaun McCullough or Javen Wright?
Who gets a pick?
Yeah.
Ooh, Javen.
Okay.
I think Javen will be in coverage more.
Okay.
So I think if I had to
pick first, Javen, sack first.
Deshaun.
Got it.
For sure.
Okay.
First sack of the game, though. Keona
RVP.
Davis.
Oh.
Keona Davis.
Want to put a little cheddar on it? Little cheese?
Who gets a sack first, RVP or Keona?
Yeah.
Next time we buy lunch. A gentleman's agreement. Don't forget tonight, Hail Varsity postgame show with me and Rico directly after the game ends down in Kansas City. Whether you're on your drive back, you're sitting around in the stadium or your hotel trying to waste time to get back to Omaha, make sure you tune in to Hail Varsity postgame. Same places you can find the show. It'll be there as well. Make sure you tune in. And hey, go Big Red.
Nebraska football.
You can feel it coming in the air tonight.